wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at.
That. Hello, I'm back. Okay, that seems to work. So yeah, so we're gonna go over what's happening today in the market. Looks like there's some cool drone news or something like that going on. That's moving things around. We already had some economic stuff go on. Oh no, that's at 10. Okay, so in the first half hour of the market, we have some economic numbers when it comes to job openings, which will be interesting. And I've heard, I got to look it up, that Trump is speaking twice this today, so that will be fun too. We'll get, and I think one of them is at 11 Eastern. So right as we switch over to the other gentleman, Trump's going to come out and yap about something. So, beware. Every time there's a talk going on there, we know that there's some action that can definitely take place. So let's just pop into it. Let's see what has been happening in the markets overnight. This one, perfect. And we'll figure out what kind of day we're in for here. So first of all, again, I always like to start with the futures. If we do a 30-minute chart, just because the futures, you have longer trading hours, so you get more of an overnight action of what's been happening. And you can see here, right, we sold off a little bit, nothing really too big, and then we bounced a little bit. An overall weak day yesterday, but nothing crazy. If we take a look at yesterday's action, weak, you could say, and then ended up right smack dab in the middle of the range. As we open up, if you look at the SPY, it looks a little bit different, of course, because their closes are different, where it sold off most of the day, closed that gap, and then bounced pretty significantly. IWM a little bit weak there, and then the three Qs is still a little bit strong, right? But that's more of just a beta thing than anything else. So if we take a look at the futures and just kind of see where we're at here, not a lot, right? Not a lot has happened. So we need to be kind of chilling out here just to see. And what I like to do just right off the bat is you kind of mark the high here and the low of the pre and post market section. Then you send alerts there as well. Just kind of like an opening range break play, but instead of just doing the one part of it, you're doing all of it, right? Because not only do you have the post market and the pre market, but you also have the bulk of yesterday's action, I would say, happened right in this zone right here. So with that, that there's a lot of potential kind of craziness that can occur, and we want to just make sure that we're part of that. So the biggest thing that I'm going to kind of reiterate, I think, a lot for you guys this morning is just that we have these job openings, we have jolts, and we have jolts happening at 10 Eastern, right? So first half hour of the day, just be a little bit cognizant, a little bit worried. I think this is why a lot of opening range break players, they wait for that first 30 minutes, just because often there's some news. And not only, right, if you go to the economic calendar, you can do it on Forex Factory, you can do it on FinViz. A lot of them are really good, but they have these kind of ranking systems. And simply put, the ranking systems just say, it's very easy to go back and look and say, when this number is announced, does it move the market? And does it move the market by, at least 0.25% or something? And then they just rank them, right? If their numbers or situations that are low market impact, which just means they don't regularly move the market, they're given like a 1 star. Like we've had some of these already, these house case shill or whatever, they've been 1 stars. Now, it doesn't mean that any of these small numbers, they could become big numbers if they're way out of line with what people are thinking. They think there's going to be, I don't know, one job created and there's 1,000 jobs created, right? If they're really, really big, outsized numbers, they can certainly make a difference. But if you're seeing this like just 3-star thing here, then most of the time with just JOLTS job openings that it is a market moving event. Right? So you can see these were all the prior numbers. If you care, it doesn't look like this graph really moves much at all. But these are all the prior numbers. And yeah, generally speaking, this will move the market. So you take that and you combine that with the fact that we're kind of inside yesterday's range, and that's inside Friday's range. So, right, yesterday's range is kind of inside, Friday plus the Monday pre-market range. So we're inside this range, and then we're inside this range, and then we have a number coming out at 10. All of those to me point to, okay, probably some chop, probably some back and forth action. Don't really trust any breakdowns, don't really trust any breakouts. And then after the number comes out, then potentially we get to see a nice little move, where yesterday was kind of the opposite, right? Yesterday you had a little bit of a move off the open, and then you had to wait until, so you had this kind of sell off, and then you had to wait for the rest of the day to go by because there just really wasn't too much happening there at all. So the only news that I really saw, again, I don't actively hunt out news. So for news to hit me, it has to hit me. It has to be emailed to me or something like that. Take a look. Yeah. Was something to do with, let's take a look here and go to UMAC. Something to do with drones, giving out drone contracts to the military. So there you go. That's the news. I guess these companies look okay. This UMAC chart on like a 30-minute chart actually looks pretty good. So I know this is one of those kind of hot themes du jour. And we're getting a nice little push up here, a nice strong move out of this base. Now, when that happens, potentially we could take a shot here at highs, and that's 22. So that's a really good percentage return. Question is, are these shorted at all in any way? Oh, 14% short. It's not nothing. It's not huge, but you can see my brought to you by Canada here, like Tim Hortons being a good Canadian with my Tim Hortons cup. And just if you hear screaming in the background, don't worry, the children's are attended to. It's just it's a holiday up here in Canada, so the daycare is kind of closed down, right? Now, one cool thing I'm trying to find here is everyone's talking about this government shutdown. So I did a little research with my buddy Perplexity last night to look at how, if a government shutdown matters at all. And copy image. Okay, we'll just bring up the tab here. And government shutdown doesn't matter. So just like we buy the World War III, we buy the government shutdown. So here is the percentage return of the S&P 500 across every time there's been a government shutdown since 1990. There's been a whole bunch like prior to then, but I figure that's like so long ago, who really cares? And you can see there's a lot of green here. So this is the cumulative return from when the shutdown started to when the shutdown ended. What was the return that the market gave? And you can see, you lost 2% in 1990, but then the rest of them were green. And then this one right here, this was the 35-day shutdown, which was the largest government shutdown in history. And it happened under the last Trump administration. Again, there's nothing new here, right? There's nothing new under the sun at all. And you made a 10% gain if you just bought stocks and held them during the shutdown. So right? Kind of hope there's no government employees listening. Kind of hope there's a shutdown. I know that's kind of mean to say, but hey, I'll take a 10% return in my investments any day of the week if there is that kind of thing going on. And now we go down to here. So this is the average gain, which, God, I love AI. This is the average gain, say 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year out from the government shutdown. So you can see 3 months, you average a 3% return. A lot of that is going to be tailored or moved by that 10% return that we saw, right? So that's going to be a big thing. Is let's move this, and then this is 6 months out. You're up on average 9.8%. You're up on average after you've done that. And then right up here, 23%. That is the average return after a government shutdown 1 year out. Now, again, we're looking at like 5 shutdowns. So there's going to be a lot of divergence from here. But the reason I ran this is because, I say it all the time, is that bears sound smart and bulls make money. So there's going to be a lot of people fear mongering out there about government shutdowns. And now you know the data. So if you see any of those people, you can just go, kind sir, I know the data. I looked at the data. Government shutdown is not scary for the markets at all. It'd be scary if you were someone who worked for the government, right? I'm not besmirching that by any means. But in this show, and what we look at is just what is the market going to do? It's the only thing when I'm in trader mode. It's the only thing that I care about. And the fact that a lot of people will say, oh no, government shutdown, sell your stocks, please get out. And we notice that it's good for the market. That's something that I have to keep note of, because it's just these people are wrong, right? And they're just trying to sound smart, or other nefarious reasons, right? Buy my gold product or something. So if there is a government shutdown, again, what does 10% look like on the SPY? Yeah, no way. So that's like 730s. If we're going to get a 10% push. Again, I don't know if I'd bet that, but the point that I want to make is that there was no point in history, even when I went back, and you can see here, this is the most recent government shutdowns, but this up here was every government shutdown. The worst return in a government shutdown in 1979 is 4%. So that is the worst return during a government shutdown. This was 12 days the government was shut down in 1979, and the worst return we got was 4%. So again, anyone comes in and says government shutdown bad, you're seeing them on Twitter or something. That's probably just a good one to hit the ignore on as well. And yes, I've noticed TAC talking about Path and CoreWeave. I know these are ones they're looking at. Woo-wee, look at that. So Path is up big based off of another partnership with OpenAI. It's funny enough, my system bought some Etsy yesterday, and I'm just sitting there watching Etsy of all, like it bought this on this purple line in the breakout. And I'm just watching Etsy just rip. And I'm like, what the heck could Etsy do to cause like a 20 or 20% up day? Makes absolutely no sense to me. And then I looked, and it's like you could buy things from Etsy through ChatGPT. So if you mention ChatGPT in your press release, you're rocketing. So yeah, it looks like this is just one of those. It's a partnership deal. Advanced agent development. That's the next thing, right? That's the next thing for AI. If anyone uses them, like I do, That's what I'm pumped for. CoreWeave doing the same thing just because it's got that, or it's got the OpenAI relationship. The the agentic AI is the next thing that I'm very, very excited for. So just taking a look there. Yeah, so anything mentioning OpenAI seems to be getting a little rip this morning, and it's that and drones. Funny that Nvidia is just chopping here. I think Nvidia might be in this range for a while, which doesn't isn't a bad thing. Right? They may start returning capital to shareholders somewhere else. There's a moment where growth is done, right? Um there's a point where your company is so followed that everything is built in, right? So it's all priced in because everybody follows your company. Everybody knows exactly what it is that you do. So that might be the case. And it might be, hey, if you're going to look to play anything related to AI in the future, you just go through and you take a look at these guys, the ones that are related to it. By the time this is my bold call. By the time OpenAI actually becomes public, that will be a top, right? That will be it's just going to come out. It's going to be the first company that comes out at like $1 trillion valuation because why do they need public markets? When their reporting requirements go up and everything gets much harder when you're a publicly traded company, and it's not like they're hurting for cash, which is the main reason you go public is you want further investment in your company, or you want to allow people who have invested early to unload. If I was an early investor in OpenAI, I'm not rushing to get that cash out. I keep going. So yeah, and again, in with Nvidia, and this happens all the time, is that something is the high flyer back when the story is either unknown or unbelieved. And then as soon as everybody starts following the stock, the edge erodes. And this is why less liquid markets, generally speaking, will have more edge in different trading strategies. Because right now, you better believe every analyst shop on the streets got like 10 guys looking at AI. They are tracking where the CEO goes on his jet, everyone he's talking to, they're reviewing his calendar every morning, like essentially stalking at this point, because if you get any leg up on what they're working on next, it'll be great. And the same thing with Apple, right? If you follow technology at all, you know that everybody knows what Apple is going to do 6 months before they do it, because there's just no way to keep a secret. This is why like I'm so anti conspiracy theory stuff, is because the question you always have to ask yourself is how many people need to keep a secret in order for it to make sense. And when it comes to Apple, I knew that it was done giving us surprises way back like 10 years ago when some guy at a bar left their newest iPhone just like in the bar, and some guy got it and bought it and like took it apart and put it on YouTube and everything. So it's just the same thing, right? As soon as your company gets everybody is watching it, a lot of the edge comes out, and these things will ebb and flow, right? Eventually, Nvidia will go, okay, this is what we're making, right? We can't really grow anymore because we've already sold everything to everybody. And the only thing that will get Nvidia moving is new product releases. This is our next thing that comes out. So yeah, if you want exposure to all the OpenAI talk going on today, I think Path and then CoreWeave, but CoreWeave is just kind of moving because it's got like some ownership and relationship. I think Path might be your best bet. Now, looking at the chart, it's getting up. It's 21% gap up, so it's nothing to sneeze at. But it's getting up to a lot of resistance on the daily chart. So this might be something just to keep an eye on. Now, this is moving. I don't really spend a lot of time looking at long-term technicals when something is as story driven as this. But you're stuck. You've got 15 to 16 is a heck of resistance up here. Through that, maybe we try to fill the gap at 18. But right, this thing is just there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resistance touches at this $15 area. So that might be defended at least to some degree. So I don't know if that's going to push right through. And then CoreWeave, I was looking at as well. And CoreWeave's kind of coming into the same problem, right? The last time it got up into the 140s, that was that huge rejection where it got cut almost in half from 140, down 43% from that price. And now we're kind of trying to break out of this zone right here that we've been stuck in for a while. But then we have those 140s, right? You can see once it touched that and then fell 30%, and then it touched that price again and it's fell 45%. So as hyped as these things are in the pre-market, I'm just looking at them and saying, well, yes, they look great here. They just might be a little overdone. And you have a slightly weak tape here in the SPY. So I'm not super excited about them. So just kind of things I'm keeping in mind. Someone's talking about Nike earnings later today. Yes. So that's tonight. Yep. So we have Nike earnings tonight. I had someone ask, I was on another show just doing chart requests yesterday, and just why? This is 2018 until now, and just nothing. So no return other than dividends. I just we're talking psychedelics are ripping, and we have drones popping, and we have space stocks going on, and we have what AI and robots and lots of cool stuff happening in the markets. I'm like, why would I care about Nike or a lot of people talk about Disney? Uh, maybe wake me up if they break a clean resistance or something. But this is another one, right? We go out here, and this is 2016 to 2020 or 2026. This is 10 years of Disney. Just wild rides from being up 70% to down 60%. And I just look at charts like that and I just go, no, I'm good. Thanks. It's not that I don't like boring companies like Costco, for example. Right? If you had bought Costco as it was breaking to new highs, there's some good trades to be made there. There's some good money to be made on those trades. But just look at this chart and then compare this chart to like a Nike or Disney. I just don't know. It's just not worth my time, I guess, is a good way to look at it, right? With all the cool stuff happening. If there was something like if there wasn't AI and robots and self-driving cars and flying cars and all that cool stuff going on, then yeah, I'll pay more attention to clothing stores. It's probably one of the reasons too that all these things are just dropping. Is just there's only so many investment dollars in the world. Do I want to put them in like a Lululemon, or do I want to put them in like I don't know, Rocket Lab?
Just bet your shorts, bro. Bet your shorts.
Shorts on short.
Haha. What's going on, man?
No, not too much. Pretty chill opening while we wait for the jobs openings.
Yeah, I won't be mad.
That's going to
Of
be a
course,
big one.
everyone's scared because the government's going to shut down and we're not going to get economic data for weeks, maybe
Gee, look.
months.
So I was just showing the kids this. So I just went to Perplexity. I said, what does the market do when the government shuts down? And these are all the shutdowns from 1990. Worst case, we lose 2%. Best case was the last Trump shutdown where the market ripped 10%. So it's like, who cares? It's like there's most of the time up 1%, up 3%, up 1%. This one didn't even move enough to make the list. So yeah, it's just for this stuff. And then this is your average gain 3, 6, 1 year out. Just again, you gotta do the talking head thing of this is the thing you should be afraid about now. Meanwhile, the market rips to new all-time highs.
I'm looking to make some money today.
Yeah, you look at
Let's
this
get
this
after
path
it,
and all that.
man.
Have you been
Yeah,
watching this?
man. Path. Yeah, I heard all about that one. Did you see the Core Weave news?
And the core weave, yeah, it's all
Core
AI.
Weave news out there, and but everyone was scared about AI last week, Michael.
Yeah.
There's no
Well,
deals. Oh
everyone that
man. Well,
watches
there it is.
CNBC.
There it is. There it is. Right back at you. Right. And so we'll see what happens today, guys.
Yeah.
And we'll look. I got a lot of trade ideas to run through, but first up,
Right.
before we get to the trade ideas, we need to take a moment, of course, because we got to remind you guys of what the Beat the Ackman competition, guys. We are getting closer. 8 days away, guys. For 3 days, the goal is simple: do better than Bill Ackman, of course. We're gonna be getting after him. We're gonna beat this guy up, guys. So we're gonna try to short Uber. No,
Short Uber, long
we might
Herbalife.
not. We might not want to do that one. We might actually want to long Uber, take his gain away from him, at least his major gain that he could have, and then we can go trading some other names, and we could actually, essentially do what the big money would do, right? Which would be hedge his bet, his biggest bet. So if he makes money, it's going to be probably because of Uber, right? So we might take a look at that, right? Well, we'll do talking all about strategies next week. The qualifier, of course, 8th through the 10th, guys. Don't miss that, guys. That's going to be, of course, just coming up, guys. I mean, 8 days away. It comes faster than you know it, guys. Next week will be already the 7th, and boom, we're already there, guys. So, hey, stay tuned, guys. We'll see what happens there. 8 days away. Sign up on the page here. I'm gonna give you guys the link so that you guys that are like me, then you need the link fast, right? Well, here you go, guys. I'll throw it up in the chat there. Just click the link, get over there, sign up. Make sure that you use the email that you use your normal account with, so that you can get it on one, right? One. Because it's happened to me where I've used a different email and then I'm like, oh man, but now I'm in a whole new like trading area, new platform.
You have
Just
to
try to keep it in the
log
same
in with
one.
2 accounts and
Yeah, try to do that, guys. Of course, the prizes, guys. What are you going to win? That's what everyone wants to hear, right? They don't care about so much about beating Ackman. They want to win the prize. Of course, if you get to the last day, which is when we're going to be in Trader TV competing in P&L, and I know Michael Noss will still be competing, getting that money. We'll see what happens when who's going to win it, right? There's 2 100,000 buying evals, and there's going to be 3 50,000, and then 5 25,000. So overall, what are you getting there? There's 10 prizes to win, guys. Top 10 going to take the prize. All right, that's going to do it for that conversation. Like always, smash the like, guys. We want to hear your conversations. What are you guys thinking about? Who's going to win the next competition, guys? I know that that guy Shane, he's an absolute monster, dude. We got to watch out for him in the competition, Michael. That guy just wins multiple competitions.
I know.
So
It was
you know what
funny
I
when
mean?
I was running
Oh,
trading.
where's my man Rodrigo and
Yeah.
we got so many guys out here that have been killing it on these competitions, man. You guys out there, let's get after it, man. And they're fun. They're fun. They test your
They're
skill,
fun.
right? They test your skill. And I think the important part, it's all about learning how to size up. Sizing up is an experience.
Yeah.
And these are great experiences to have. And it's not about putting it all in at once. I think that's what a lot of traders do in these competitions, but we'll talk about that next week. Wait for Tuesday. On Tuesday, I'm going to talk about the 10 things you don't want to do in the competition. And on Monday, we'll talk a little bit more strategy focused. So, hey, stay tuned, guys. We'll have a lot for you guys. And there's tons of strategies we can do. Let's see what we can do today, guys. Let's get trading after it. And you guys know I'm swing long on MSOS. That's what I'll be focused on. I'll let you take the wheel here.
Yeah, just watching the SPY the first 30 minutes, looking a little bit bullish. Now, again, I just want to remind, in case you weren't here, which I'm sure you were, is that, right, this first 30 minutes, I'm not trusting anything. I'm not trusting the breakouts. I'm not trusting the breakdowns. We are just in an environment in which we have this big news event coming up. So, if we have this large news event, we know that it's going to happen, then you can see that there's a lot of kind of chop back and forth. And again, we need to...
Ion Q bouncing a little bit. I think today's an important day for if we're going to either, actually start to pull back, or are we just going to get some new legs here?
Yeah, that's
New
a little
legs type of
reversal
move,
there.
right?
Yeah.
That's a new
But
legs
yeah,
type of
so
move.
for me, I'm in wait and see mode for anything discretionarily. But being said, there's 2 trades already came through the bot, so I guess what I think doesn't matter. Wolf Speed just took a short on. Wow, holy smokes! This thing went from $1. It just went up 2,000% in 2 days. It's completely under the radar for me. I didn't know anything that this thing happened, so there we go. That's a thing. And took a little bit of a short on that. And then what's the other one here? Is Cart.
All right, pretty good drop on MSOS out the gates there. Going to continue to watch it. The resistance is the same spot it's been, 535. I could have sold there earlier today, about for a $200 gain, but I'm looking for a little bit more in this trade. I'm in that such a good position that it's kind of hard to sell right here.
Cart.
Bull on
Maple
the
Bear.
watch, man. You know, it's one thing that I'm watching, man, and I'll run through some of the
Bull?
idea. Why? Because the brokers are on breakouts, man. All the brokers. Hood is the one that you're looking at, but take a look at all the brokers. They're all making moves, every single one. That tells me something. Tells me to watch them. There's one I could possibly make money on.
Hood.
So software momentum is what I talked about a lot on Trader TV. Housing play today to watch, Rocket, names like that. Cannabis, of course. And then big tech, watching big tech to see what happens in NVIDIA. I think that's one of the key stocks. If this is going to be a new leg rally, we need to see NVIDIA hold strong.
Yeah, interactive brokers chart here actually looks really nice. This is
Yeah.
obviously a bigger company, less crazy, but just a nice kind of high cup here that it's breaking out of. Yeah, so I see CoreWeave being talked about, and again, I'm just looking at these things. CRWV, and both CoreWeave and Path are just getting into prior resistance zones. So I think it's going to depend. Yeah, Path, you can see it is sold right off the open. The opening is the high there, and it's just kind of sold right down. And again, I don't think it's because the news was crap or anything like that. Again, you guys know me; I don't think that matters at all. It's just more about they're running into a little bit of resistance after this kind of overextension type move. So yeah, this one's breaking down VWAP here and then pulling down a little bit more.
Yeah, be careful for like dips and quick pullbacks. I think you'll get a lot of these right now. Watching RKT today as one of the stocks that I'm watching, so I'm looking around out there, guys.
Yeah, so Wolf here. Again, don't know what this Wolf Speed. I thought this was bankrupt, but there we go.
That doesn't matter.
It's not. It's ripping 5,000%. And then another trade that just got in was ACB. So this is one of those weed plays. And again, just looking for a pullback into yesterday's range. That's what this setup is. So far, those 3 trades: long cart, which isn't working; long ACB, which is about flat on; and then long or short wolf, which is working. Reorganization on wolf. Okay, that makes it worth like 10,000% more. It's crazy that like the 1 or 2 times that something like that works in bankruptcy ruins bankruptcy for everyone
Coin
else.
ripping here, guys. I really like that play. Missed the 331 pullback there. Was not ready out the gates here, but it's strong out the gates, guys. I think coin's a nice look right now.
Coin, yeah, Bitcoin, continued its march all day yesterday, even with the market selling a
Just
bit,
needs
and
some
then
type of
gave back
pullback
a
here
little
to
bit here.
332s. But it's just lifting. And this was part of the watch that I was looking at, guys, the brokers, right? So Hood lifted off yesterday. This right off the support just starts right out the gate. Support's 328. It's already to 334, man.
And remember, there is Con-L if you want that one, which is the double
Con L.
leverage coin for $36. Fairly liquid.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I like that. Sometimes
GM.
I also can measure out these a little bit better since it's not the hundreds. Since when you're not used to trading hundreds, you can use that advantage, right? So let's look for a liquidity move. I'm looking for a liquidity move, 3630s. A little pullback to 3630s gets me loaded in here. I'm going to wait for it. It can break 37 and just run here. So just be careful with that. But coin looking good today, man. And that tells me to also look to see, IBKR, right? Look at that. You see, this is what I'm talking about, why relationships matter, guys.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about hood. I'm talking brokers. You get what I mean? That's the
Yeah. And
difference. That's the key difference there.
well, and again, we got to remember our advantage as people with trade the pool is we don't need to trade the craziest name out there because we have a lot of buying power, right? So you can take something like an IBKR, which is going to be really liquid and really smooth to play. It's just not going to be as crazy as trading something,
I'm going
something like
IBKR, guys. And I just got a little starter there, and I'm going to look to add on any pullback. Like 69 is the real add spot, but I'm going to IBKR here.
and yeah, let's remember, we have those numbers coming out in just a little bit. So it's what 20 something minutes. Could move as well. Yeah, I saw that video about Sosnoff leaving Tasty Trade. I don't know what to make of it. Knowing him, he's starting something else somewhere else.
Yeah, that guy just got bored.
Yeah, he does that a lot. He got bored with Thinkorswim and made a bill off selling that, and then
Yeah,
probably
and
got bored with Tasty
that
Trade.
guy's
And
not the type to get out of the industry. It's
no,
just Connell there pushing
well,
strong,
even
man.
he says it himself, and I always like that quote. Same with me is that when I die, just roll me out back to the dumpster. He's like, I hope I die like on stage in a trade. Um, but yeah, Connell breaking yesterday's high is a pretty big move there.
Yeah,
And
bull on the watch also, man, and it's right there. It's right there. So that might be my swing on the day. So of
well, and what's
course,
interesting is Coinbase doing this with Bitcoin down, right? So if Bitcoin turns, Bitcoin like digs in here and turns a bit, which it looks like it's trying to do here on the 30-minute chart. If we dig in, we start to push back to those 115s or so. That could be interesting. And yeah, so all my trades are underwater, but again, we're just still waiting. I'm not trusting. So far, little push up, and then we've dropped pretty dramatically here on the SPY. But we're still inside yesterday's range, right? So that's what we just got to mark up. We got to mark up the pre-market low, which lines up pretty well with yesterday's low, lines up almost perfectly, and then this high range, and just see. As long as we're inside this range, I'm not too interested in. Again, both FinViz and Forex Factory mark Jolt's job reports as a red event, which means historically, I think they go back like the last
long
6 reports or
bull
something.
swing account funded.
Yeah, historically is a big market moving kind of play there.
Just a quick risk off of 1532s and bull. I'd like to see it just send. There's a lot of people watching this trade. I'm not going to hesitate here. I'm just going to take a shot and look at that IBKR just lifting. That looks great there, guys. I didn't even get my ad,
I'll be right
but
back.
that's okay. All right. I'm up right. There you go. Let me put myself up. Sorry about that. Let's go. Here, let me put you in the background, my friend. You come back when you're ready. There we go. Looking good on IBKR, guys. Still watching, of course, MSOS. Got to keep an eye on that. It needs to start bouncing, but I'm looking at the hourly to kind of determine it and really just watching to see if it breaks 5. As long as it holds 5 today, I think I'm looking good in MSOS. Look at that liftoff in there, IBKR. That looks great there, guys. All right, so like when I get to 70, I'll sell at 70 here, and I think it can go a little higher, but I'm gonna look for the pullback to add or kind of get back in. Just gonna sell the rip here, look to sell the rip, and then just keep it going. IBKR, good trade here, 300 shares, 69.44, about to break 70. Let's go, there you go, 97s. So now I'm going to put the stop right on the 90s or the 87s here. I just want it to break 70s, and then I'm going to trail it. And it's slowing down right here a little bit. I might not break it here. Got to give it the chance. There we go, 96, 97s. There it is. All right, now I put a stop at 69.87s, looking for the breakout above the 70s to sell into. There's a nice little breakout. Let's go up a little bit here. Moving up there to 70s on the support. Looking for expansions back up to 70.30s for a little bit more profit here. But really good trade here to start off the day. There we go. Let's see if we get 70.20s, and then I just get 200 here. Good trade here, guys. Let's go. All right, it's pulling back on me here, but I'm still trailing the action there. Looking for bull to start making the move. I'm gonna risk like about $30 on that name to like 15.25. It's right now on the reload area, so I'm gonna give it the chance to get that load and keep going. Looking really, really good here on this IBKR trade. So I think I wasn't the only one that found brokers going higher. But hey, that's how it is. That's why you do your work in the morning, right? That's what this trade was, guys. I didn't know this even yesterday. You know what I mean? But hey, sometimes you miss a part of the move, and you're looking for it to start working here. Bull looking good too. So I have to stop right now. I'm gonna actually take off the target profit there to let it run if it wants to run right now. If it hits me at 70.02, I'll take the money and run, right? So like literally give it the chance to go, but I'm ready to get out. So right here, it's kind of trying to break out. So I'm going to give it a penny or two, go back to 70, give it a little bit of room, and then look for it to run. Bull is the real one I like right now because look at the daily. You see how this daily is like set up here? If it just takes off through the high of like 1580s, I think it can really run back up to like 17 and 18. So it's a good looking trade here. I'll stay 200 shares. If it gets to 1560, that's when I'm going to step up to 300 shares on this and then just look for it to run. Bull looking good right now. Now we needed to catch this and start to run. Let's go.
And we're getting the SPY bouncing a bit here. So right,
I'll come to you here so that we can take a look at that.
And up. Rally, sell, rally. All stuff that makes perfect sense before a large number comes out.
And VIX also like kind of melt down right out the gates. So.
Yeah, we're just we're chopping around waiting for jobs reports. So just like I didn't trust the sell off, I'm not really trusting the rally. We've just got a lot of nonsense going on that we need to resolve. So again, 663, 69 and 661, 92.
Let's go.
Those two numbers we care about, but so far really, really strong here.
Let's go, guys. Yeah. Getting up there to 70.22s now, guys. Up 230 on that trade in IBKR here. Probably going to get out here and then look to reload on a pullback. But there it goes. Gets hit. Boom. We'll look for a pullback on the 90 MA to get right back in. Oh, MSOS. Big candle up. That's what we wanted to see, guys. Some buyers willing to step back in here in MSOS. That looks great there. Part of me thinks to like add here, but I'm at such a good point of control. Yesterday's entry, I got 482. So I think I'm really good on the entry. When you get a really good entry, don't it up. You know what I mean? I think even Michael will tell me. Michael hates even adding two, but that's the truth. Because once you get a really good entry, you're kind of in a position of strength. That's how I feel like right now. I can ruin that position by adding once. Right now, right?
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I like because you have MSOS in my personal account. I took MSOX,
There
and
you
I'm
go.
the same way. I'm just MSOX. My original stop was kind of down here at like 650, and I'm just gonna leave that. And it's like a wake me up at this gap fill or
Yeah.
a stop out. If we get that gap fill, that's 40. That's over 4 times. Right, that's over 4 times my money. So I can risk a buck to make potentially, like $40. That's the way I'm looking at it, right? I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to get too cute. I don't want to tweak the position. I just want to go, okay, this is the idea. Let her rip. Hopefully there's enough shorts there. And even intraday, I've got some exposure here with this ACB. And oh, look, I'm long MindMed in my day trading account as well, being long in the swing. And again, this setup's just the looking for a wide range move and then a pullback into that range. That's the idea there. It's a very simple one. It's one that, again, it's got like a 50 some odd percent win rate. We're just kind of milking that win rate over time. But so far, every position is negative. So that's how my day is going so far. But that's part of it. I notice that all the time where because I'm doing a lot of mean reversion, I can't expect to pick the top or the bottom. It just means that over the day, I think that these things will kind of drift back to some known mean. We have 13 minutes remaining in before we have this
Great
number
reminder. Great
come out.
reminder there.
So
So you might see the gas pedal get hit, but then watch out for quick pullbacks, right? So like I'm hitting the gas pedal right now, guys. I'm long RCAT here, just trying to scalp it up here as it's kind of ripping up higher. Of course, this was a trade I was looking at yesterday and talked about it just a few minutes ago. So these types of trades, when I see them start to go, I'm willing to scalp them because I know they have momentum and the stock's showing me momentum. So I'm willing to ride it up. Got long it. Now I even added on the rip. I'm just stop break even. Like I'm just riding the momentum right now. There's a push higher, 1086 RCAT. Let's go. Let's go. Now I'm just gonna move this. I can move the stop right up there. Keep it into the. Essentially, I'm just trying to ride the momentum, right? So if it comes back, I get out. But if it just keeps ripping, I can ride that wave.
looking, Bitcoin's making a little bit of a move here, a little bit of a rally. Just noticed on my other screen, so trying to pop up here with the market. That's probably a lot of the reason. Coinbase, along with what's going on with the brokers. If Bitcoin participates,
Bitcoin is a good, but it's also the risk on right back on, right? This kind of got in that sideways consolidation. This is what we need, the new leg bull rally. That's what I'm looking for, Michael. It could start in crypto, right? I mean,
Solana had a great couple days there. Ethereum had a great couple days there. So far, right, everything here is looking good. Again, I look at this, right. This is the mark. That's why I always keep a daily chart up.
there's some pullback. I got some alerts out there. Let me find what that alert was. Oh, bull pushing strong. It got up there at 1555, so I'm looking good there. Out on that RCAT, guys. Did take a slight hit, I feel like, on the kind of the wash there. But trying to reload on that thing, back down. I will be trying to get in at like 1040. Looking for deep pullbacks now, especially with the number coming in.
Yeah, and 10 minutes to jolts. And then I've heard somewhere, I got to find the times, what Trump's talking a few times today just to really mess things up. Something about at Quantico, which I think is where like the CIA lives, isn't it?
Quantico. All right, looking
So
good
yeah,
here
all
in
this kind of
bull.
stuff.
About to take an ad and bull up there when it gets to 1560. It's like right there. I just need to keep going. There's RCAT pulling back a pretty good amount there. So looking for some good 90 MA pullbacks, that type of move. 1040s, then the move back up above 11s. Looking interesting. SPY, of course, trickling down here, putting some pressure. Watch the hourly levels on the SPY. 662, so vital.
This is one of those things, right? Just to not to pat myself in the back too much, but going in today, I said, listen, I'm not trusting any move the market makes, because what you see, go over it pretty much every day, is that there's a lot of systems, the quants, the big guys out there, they just turn them off until after the number comes out. So what you're getting now is a lot of retail speculation, which is just more fickle, right? They'll be long 1 minute, short the next minute, back and forth, this kind of trading action. So I didn't trust the sell off. I didn't trust the rally. I don't trust the sell. And again, we are, just for perspective, we're smack dab in the middle of this range, and we're still technically inside of our opening range. If you do like a 15-minute,
Can
do broke like by
IBKR
one
come
tick.
back? I'll be looking for it, guys.
So yeah, I don't look at this sell off as bearish, just because I don't look at the rally as bullish, and we just wait our 9 minutes until something kind of really
Did you see
really occurs.
Citron short Rigetti? Dun dun
That's an
dun.
interesting announcement. The SEC is working on a plan to allow stocks to trade like cryptocurrencies on the blockchain.
Oh, blockchain talk. You know what that gets me going.
Time.
All right.
Time. Let's get everything, right? Trade it kind of decentralized like that.
Remember how I talk about MSOS? It tends to sell off, hold at some point, then reverse back up. Yesterday's was around midpoint day. So just looking for it really to hold 5 today.
Okay.
Let's watch Bull here. I think that's the important stock for me here. When the number comes in, I'll be looking to see what numbers, what we get on the numbers here. All right, seeing some pullbacks already getting bought there. Let's see what happens. Number comes in at 10, right?
Using stablecoin. I have no idea. That's all I read. What's the headline? I'm just that guy with that, but it makes sense. As soon as the Nasdaq,
Mamayan.
this is just reading a little bit more. The Securities and Exchange Commission is working
All
on a
right,
plan to allow
Chicago
stock.
PMI came in at 945 at 40.6 versus 43.4 estimate. Slight undercut there. That should mean that we're cutting more. There is some Fed conversations. Fed Collins saying not out of the woods on inflation. Says strong equity markets boosting household wealth has buoyed consumption. It's still early days on how tariffs will play out. Of course that is.
Yes,
There's some pullbacks though. Looking good on Bull. I'm willing to start stepping up here. I'd like to see some move back above the 56 spot here, and then I'm gonna add Q's though, taking a quick hit down.
That's right. Zero Grav is that it's at 10. That's the big number, is the job openings. PMI was a yellow, right? These things, thankfully for guys like me, they color code them of how much they normally move the market. So yeah, we still have another 5 minutes or so until the JOLTS number, and then we're out of the woods in the way of numbers. I'm still trying to find out when Trump is going to speak here, but the Walter Bloomberg. So it's one of those things that, yes, we are, Chicago PMI is done, but Trump to announce drug pricing deal with Pfizer. Ooh, wow. Holy smokes.
Pfizer moving.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good trade to jump on right now. I'm trying to jump on that. I'm trying to add the Bull. There's a rip up with Bull. So I like that move. Now I can hold break even. I'm up $50, and there's a big explosion in Bull. Boom.
And there's Pfizer just ripping. So
I'm
Pfizer to sell
in
drugs
IBKR.
through Medicaid.
I'm willing to buy that headline there. Right now, this is the market that can run away from you. So I'm taking a little bit there of Pfizer already here, looking for the scalp. Boom, it goes higher. I put the stop right behind it now. $18 risk. Let's see if it just takes off here. I'm putting stop right on 24.50s, looking for this just to run away. Bull looking really good. Almost $100 on that bull trade right out the gates there. Let's go, guys. Boom, sound that alarm. Let's get it going. Let's rock it.
Ooh.
Let's get the bulls on going here. That looks awesome, man. Look at that breakout. Oh, Money Mitch at it again here. Woo! That thing is gassing. I don't know what happened there, but that thing is gassing. That makes me want to step up in IBKR. Yeah, I'm going to step up in IBKR here.
I wonder if it's more. I'm just seeing like my whole my whole feed is now lighting up with this blockchain trading news. So I wonder if Bitcoin's.
Let's go.
That would make sense for like Bull and Coinbase, right? Because you think these guys would be part of any kind of deal like that to kind of tokenize all stocks.
Hey, 1640s really quickly, and I'm going to run. I'll take the $300 or the $250 like just in 10 minutes. Let's go. This is looking really good. I want to see if we get break right back up above 16. Watching for 9 EMA holds now. And I'm pretty averaged in pretty well there because I got a nice really starter entry at 1535s on bull. And then I added on the breakout. And now I'm at 1550s. Like, it's a really good area. And there's a lot of sizing coming in there. 15,000 shares at 1585. Shows me more and more people are willing to step up on the pullback. Come on.
So we got 3 minutes till that report. Just taking a look here on the SPY. More talk. Just came down to the low, and now we're bouncing pretty hard. So yeah, this has just been a wild opening for the market. Not a lot in terms of volatility, but just that up and down is probably really driving people insane. Yeah, just more talk about Golden Dome. So whatever's going on, this speech, I guess, that I was looking at for Trump.
Oh, Golden Dome. Right, watch now for those software names.
That's what I was thinking. So
I was actually looking to see a turnaround in Oracle, man, and it's doing that support move. I'd put an alert back above 280s. That's an interesting stock to get after.
We look at Hacker. Yeah, that's not really very liquid.
Smaller name in software that I like is APPS. Apps.
Okay, no movement so far. We'll keep that in mind.
It's a nice little small one, just kind of boosting up, lots of volume. And then there's Wi-Fi with the CoreWeave mention. So CoreWeave got big news. So this is Wi-Fi, WYFI. Just reclaimed 27. I like that trade.
Oh, what a ticker. That's a good one.
Wi-Fi.
Just talking more about I've committed to spending over $1 trillion on the military next year. So that's probably already
white fiber, baby. White fiber. MSOS not acting bad either. Just trying to bottom out here. A lot of buyers trying to step up there. Just got to hang on, baby. Hang on. Hang on. IBKR just sitting here. I want him to take it. Can't get risky with the position size though right now.
1 minute till the number. So let's just grab.
There we go. Good move on the first action there.
Just hit the 1 minute in the SPY. See if
stop break even on IBKR.
Of course, it happens when we're hitting today's highs. Of course, it will. So that it will. There's
make it harder. Make it harder if they just send it here, right? So look for your stocks to kind of be on that verge. APLD looking good. RCAT coming back. There's so many names. I don't want to load up too much though, but it looks like a good day so far. Here, let's see if this comes and throws a wrench. I want to see him short out Citron. I feel bad because Andrew left even. I'm cool with him. But I don't know. That call is short
I can't
Rigetti.
remember which is the one. Oh no, it's Citron. I don't like. It's what the Muddy Waters. That's the one that I
Muddy.
like. Yeah, I like the guys who, and he's the one that just walked away because he said the market's just there's not as many scams as there used to be, and the
All right,
administration
good
doesn't
lift
care
off with
for it.
IBKR here, guys. I'm gonna risk a good amount here because I have money made, right? So I can risk on a good amount here. Look for this to kind of get the lift here. We'll see if it takes off. There's a quick dip. It could be that first fake out, so be careful. We are getting the number in here. So it got Jolt's job openings at 7.22 versus 7.19. So showing the jobs openings are going up a little bit higher here. How this is going to
More
work.
betting.
The Fed Collins, though, did say that not having BLS data over time would be problematic. Just to put that out there. Consumer confidence number coming in at 94.2 versus 96 estimate. So that shows a little bit of slight dip there. But the Jolts, not really. I don't think that's a negative. I mean, it's such slight off the estimate that I don't think these are bad numbers. Remember, no numbers, I think, right now are good numbers.
Well, and it's funny the market's reacting as such, right? It's not done much when those numbers came out, just to kind of show, okay, yeah, we don't really care too much about. It's not a big deal one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
Which of these things.
All right, so now I got to go looking through my list and stuff to see, making sure that I'm ready and I'm not missing a move that I don't want to miss, right? So there's a lot of trades that are in the green. I'm going to run through a ton of trades right now. Look at my screen. Let's rock and roll. Leading the list today, Rigetti. Haha, you see that? Hood. RCAT, SBET going higher, Bull going higher, UUUU bouncing back, AMAT pushing strong, Lemonade pushing back, IBKR, a name that I'm in, QUBT now starting to push. That's a name to look at. Valet is one name that I'm going to put out there that I think not many are looking at that could start going for a little bit of bigger move. GEV pushing up, APLD, MSTR hanging in there, Apple leading. That's what I want to see, the big tech names. And we're going to go to big tech in a second here. But some of the names really holding in here. Tempest is one to watch for a bounce back day. AMD now starting to bounce back. That looks good there. Of course, we talked about a lot of crypto names, so look for that. IonQ was strong. Let's see if it gets re-strong back through 65 here. And that could be also another signal for some more money to be made. So just be careful out there, guys, but let's have some fun.
Expanding the Navy by at least 19 ships next year. So who built ships? Who do we know that?
That would make just the XLI bet a little bit better. So
Right.
you keep things simple, and you go XLI or you go defensive sector ETFs, right? You know some of those, right? I mean,
Well, like ITA I was looking at, but
yeah, there you go.
that's
Like
holding
that.
in.
Look at it. Look at it. That looks perfect right now. I actually like that. So you risk off the 206 on this thing for me. That's more of a swing style right here. You're risking about $1, but you could risk 206 here or maybe even 205 for this to run maybe back towards the resistance this morning, 209. So you're talking 2 points up, 2 points down, kind of a 1-to-1 type of trade. Not a bad way to go about it, though. Also, you see what's leading in that, right? Yeah, that's how I like to go about it sometimes. KTOS, Kratos Defense, up today and kind of leading. So
Absolutely. Oh, hey man.
let's get him in, Kevin.
Don't pick your
What's
nose.
up, Kevin?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, guys?
IBKR here for a slight
Uh-oh.
hit here. I'm willing to take the hit, guys, because I'm still in the green. I'm willing to step back in IBKR at a cheaper price.
How's the morning going for you guys?
Oh, it's going great, man. It's
And,
another beautiful day in paradise,
and the-
man.
How the twins doing?
Oh, doing good, battling like I am. Let's go.
It's a holiday up here in Canada, so
Oh,
again, if you hear screams, just know they're home.
well, the whole
Cheers.
week or just today?
Just today.
Okay. TAC watching D Pro as well. I'm in a little position short there. Nearly hit the magic 20, 920. So I'm kicking back with that. The hangover today was ENTA, which has been beautiful. ENTA, we can pull that one up, Michael. If that play has been really nice. I've been kicking back with that from 15. Outside of that, that was ENTA was phase 2 as well. I mean, again, If you look at ENTA's chart relative to its average trading day, though, ENTA was just gorgeous. IBG, Angelo, IBG, that was marijuana kind of play, right? CBD drinks, that thing hitting the 520 magic in the pre-market, hitting some pre-market resistance, pulling back a little bit. But yeah, so Trump said something about marijuana yesterday. That's what got it going. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I watched the
You know,
video. Put a
what
whole
was it?
video on. Did it right. He targeted just like specifically to old people. Like this will make your joints feel better.
Long
Like,
coin.
I see.
so that's how he's going to get it by his voting base, right? Of the elderly. He's just going to go because it does makes your joints feel. I give it to my dad, and he's like, my knees have never felt better, kind of thing. But it's just a smart way to do it. You got to get your base on board.
Yeah.
So he just said, yeah, I'm doing this to make you guys feel better, and they'll be all on board. So yeah, both me and Mitch have MSOX
Long
or
IBKR.
MSOS.
So at the conference in October, I know what you guys are going to be talking about then, huh? IBG, let's see, CBD. Yeah, let me see if I can pull up the charts here, guys. Let us know.
Aha. When I sell MSOS for a 420 profit, we'll talk about that.
Several decent plays. We're going to run through some and some that are popping up right now as well, traders out there. And if there's any you want me to look at, go ahead and throw those up as well. But SPRC hitting some pre-market resistance. That one's pulling back heavy off of 7. IBG, Angela brought this one up. 5's obviously a key level there, and 420. I know it's marijuana related, so I mean 420 is probably a little support there that can hold up. And path, tack, you hit path. This one's been heavy off of that open. I mean, it formed this little descending triangle, snap that, and now we need a little bear flag. We're going to go red to green. Volume slowing down. So certainly still opportunity on that. They did come out with a collaboration news, AI related on PATH. But yeah, any other NFE long term? Yeah, let us know if there's any tickers you want us to look at right now. Mr. Noss, how's your morning going though?
I am in 6 positions and every single one of them's red. So that's how the morning's going. But that's all part of the plan. It's just when you're doing mean revision, right? You don't know.
Right.
You're never trying to pick the top or the bottom of the day. You're just saying from here, by the end of the day, there's a higher probability they revert. So I've got a lot of
over 20 years. You will be, you know the math, and you take the positions are smaller too, and you give them range, so those 6 could turn green.
Yeah, they're just tiny. It's mildly depressing that you have to every morning look at a red portfolio and just the game that I'm always playing, that when I'm playing with these accounts, is trying to give them enough wiggle room that I don't get stopped out for the day, but then get them close enough to that kind of stop out that I'm not trading too small to not make it kind of worth my time. So it creates an interesting game where in my own account, it doesn't, I've got a dedicated size. I know the max drawdown from the life of the trading, that type of thing. So, it becomes a little bit position sizing becomes the devil in the details.
It's a huge portion of it. I mean, it's not talked about a lot out there. They like to just talk about, the trading, the magical trades and edge and having the crystal ball. But Angela's right. Smaller positions, it's that emotional dial on the account. You size to a position that keeps your emotions small, and you can think with clarity and trade them well. I know it works for me. Like when I size heavy on something, I'm often I want to take it off quicker. I don't trade it as well when I'm smaller. Like I actually allow the position to work out, actually work out to those profit targets. So it's been whatever sizing that is for you, relative to that account size.
Yeah, it's the whole boiling the frog alive kind of thing, right? So what I'm trying to do is just say, okay, I can risk X amount per day before I'm stopped out. So just watching these things is why I'll go through. I'll keep going through accounts, I'm sure, until I get it right. But the idea is, okay, what is that position size that gets me kind of 50 to maybe 60% into the max drawdown I have each day, with only hitting that absolute max drawdown.
You may need the 50 or 100K for that strat? Like, what sizes are you working
Well, right
right
now
now?
I'm playing with a 50K, and I did notice that as well
Okay.
because with the 25K, or it's part of the problem is trading so small, um, but with minimum commission values to make sure the commissions don't eat you up. And it's I just find all of this conversation really, really interesting and funny because it's just way
Hmm.
different from what most traders are doing, which is what's the stock that's going to move next. Like my brain is just not even in that world anymore. It's
Hmm.
because the bot's going to take the trades and it's going to do whatever it thinks is right. And so for
You're
me, yeah,
thinking
it's
in terms of like 1,000 trade. Like, how can I make this work over a
yeah, well,
series? It's a lot of trades through repetition.
All
yeah,
right, guys. So you guys
Yeah.
see me long coin here. It's long IBKR. I'm up decent in coin. I dip out of that thing.
nice.
Oh,
Got
down at 332.
Yeah, dude, right underneath it. I got a 332.04. Like that's pretty good as it gets there. So I'm just looking to ride this. When you get a good entry, you gotta look to see what happens here. I think it's all about the cues, testing down, and then just ripping out of here. Right. So we'll see what happens. If it does do a breakdown move, it could happen. I think you keep watching Megatech. That's what really needs to kind of come back right now. That's what's getting a little bit of a hit there in some areas. So watch for that action. IBKR, I'm staying in on that broker trade.
The SPY, yeah, it's flirting right back to the lows. So, this is what we call a megaphone pattern, which generally speaking, people will look at it tops, but just shows kind of increasing volatility over time.
Oh
And
yeah.
we haven't moved anywhere today, but each swing is larger than the one before it, and we just keep getting kind of wider. Oh, I'm showing you the wrong chart. Duh. SPY. Too many windows open. SPY. All right, so this
Okay.
megaphone. Why are we? Stop. There we go. Right, so this is that kind of megaphone pattern, right, where your highs are getting higher, but then your lows are also getting lower. So you're moving nowhere, but you're just getting kind of more volatile as you do. And again, just something important to note because we don't know when or if this pattern is going to kind of reverse itself. So it could be just kind of. I expected some move after the number was done. What we may want to watch for is still got Walter Bloomberg up here, and it's just still dealing with Trump stuff, so he might still be up there talking. So, White House to announce Trump RX buying website and deals with Pfizer. So he's still talking about these drug deals. So Pfizer's a really interesting one here.
All right, getting some test here on bull, and I feel like this is just a reload area. Someone just stepped up at 535, 37,700 shares. So that to me looks like a reload area that just got in there. You can see him get tested maybe
Hey,
10 cents, but that's
going
a
up.
pretty good order. What's up, bull? You in, bull?
You're muted.
That's called bull.
ZURA going, kind of getting euphoric traders in small cap land. ZURA. It's been a play
Stepping
the
up.
last few days.
Yeah.
Stepping up in IBKR. IBKR and coin keep working. I'm going to try to hang in on this bull trade because I think they both can just follow.
Straight up goes the ZURA. Seeing left of the chart, 520, some areas. It may have a magnet up there towards 5. Just be mindful of that, guys.
All right, let's start seeing coin take the lead.
Nice. Yeah, so you can see we're starting here on the SPY. This is just hilarious action. We're starting to rally here again. So up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And again, it might just be one of these things until I'll try to see when Walter stops talking about Trump being on stage. I'll actually go to YouTube, see if I can watch it. And when he leaves, that might be when the market kind of makes up his mind. What Trump wants to go.
BQ, very interesting. Josh, you in here? Yeah, you're muted. So BQ, they're trying. Yesterday was had an insane move on it. Let me pull up that chart. BQ, this thing from 2 to 18, and it ended up developing a little bit of a head and shoulders here off
Oh,
of the 12s. Uh,
I don't
but
know what happened there. Sorry to interrupt, but a big like 50-cent wick showed up on IBKR. Just calling that
okay.
out there.
And then, yeah, so today, there's not, I mean, Zura is up right now at the highs in small cap land, but they're still propping BQ up. You just want to be mindful of this because the Warriors could jump in here and try to retest those levels. But 12 certainly a level of resistance to be mindful of there, BQ.
What the heck was that?
Okay. So I do have Trump up here, so I'm just waiting for him to walk off stage. That's probably when things will go good. I'll let Walter tell me what he's actually saying. I don't need to actually listen, but just like we talk about with JPOW, sometimes it's when he walks off. You see JPOW walk off stage, and then the market rips because it's like, okay, he didn't say anything that ruined us. I think it does the same thing with Trump. It's like, okay, just don't say anything crazy, and then don't say anything that tanks us. Okay, you're done. Go. And then Pfizer, look, this he's talking about
There we
this
go.
Pfizer,
yesterday.
Pfizer. I like this. I like this now attempt back. Remember, I talked about how you
Yeah.
needed that pullback. You got it. Now it's starting to grind. That's how you look on that
Look at
trade.
right where I'll bring this up. Look at right where it came right back to VWAP, dug in there for a while, and then just ripped higher. So, man, this might be. I'm looking back. This might be like the largest candle in Pfizer in ages. I guess, right? If you're getting government contracts, then I'd say them. This is just kind of interesting to me because this has been like the worst. The only one that's been worse than this is mRNA, because Pfizer from all-time highs down 60%. That's interesting to me. If they're going to start getting in good with the government, potentially that could be a really good. Ooh, I'm talking like
Yeah,
investment.
it could be the reason why the XLV is leading, right, guys? So you guys know how I am. Try to focus on the sectors and industries. With that Pfizer, you'll start to see other major names start to move with it. Look how Merck is up, MRK is up, big, Humana is up. Now you're getting Bristol Myers up. Now you're getting Amgen to rip higher. It's not one stock, right? And so that's the one thing that I always like to jump on, guys.
Well, look at the XBI
AbbVie,
there.
AbbVie, DHR, UNH even ripping higher, guys. UNH, you heard that right. UNH, I think it's a buy here now. Like this is when I would take the shot. This is
The
when I would
day,
like take
I'm
the shot
already in.
now.
the daily's got excellent. I'm seeing like 320s. I mean, it's almost like the inverse head and shoulders down there. Yeah, what was where are you in at, Nos?
I'm in like
60.
yeah, no, I'm around
It's like we're
270.
bombing.
So I
That's
tried
it.
it
Yeah.
twice. I bought it on this like hammer candle and
Okay.
then got stopped out when it rolled back over and just like made a little bit of money off it. But when it undercut that hammer candle and then started to rally back through, I bought it there. And then I just got lucky that right it was Warren Buffett that saved this company. So that was a very happy day. You wake up and you hear Warren Buffett was long the stock you just bought.
Yeah.
So,
I
and
mean,
again, this isn't a huge position because this is one of those that I don't want to touch for like 10 years. I've got on
right.
it's such a long-term position. I even told the broker to put on dividend reinvestment. Like I'm planning on moving it and just, wake me up when it's back to all-time highs.
Wake
Right.
me up
You
when September ends.
get one of those
Today.
you're getting such a big company, right? Such an important company. And man, the XBI has been relatively strong to the market as a whole and definitely taking off today. So that would be right with your biotech names like your Pfizer's and all of that.
AMD starting to go higher. I'm trying to work the magic, guys.
Here is
IBKR go. Let's go IBKR. Let's go coin. Let's get moving, man. Let's go
James,
Microsoft.
James, I love to hear that. The DVLT, that was one I was watching this
Dude,
morning as well.
I need more
Almost
buying
right
power.
away.
I need more buying
DVLT,
power.
120. I mean, and now it's like if you trade with objectivity, James, it's like you rode that up. Let me
Wrong
share that
one.
screen
Here,
again. For some, it disappears sometimes.
uh,
I think your
yeah,
magic
gotcha.
like da 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 da. You send it away. That's
No,
why.
it's just I got like
No, I'm
three
just kidding.
Kevin. I got three of you in here
Oh,
on
okay.
profiles, so it's confused between which one.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, DVLT, James, you left leftovers. That was great. Honestly, it's one of the things I went over. The Michael Katz and I on the funded interview, like how something I'm trying to work on too is just leaving those to get the risk reward up a bit, because mine's nearly at even, but. That's one thing that does certainly help me out is leaving leftover positions. And look at this, James. So you rode this thing up, and now once it starts getting heavy profit taking backside, you can see the volume chart. You have the volume ride it up. Now the volume fades, and now you can ride it on down as a short. Like this is a setup I like on the backside short against the Magic 120 this morning. 20's holding up, and you just can ride it on. So take the short of it, take the long and short of it, right? Now, James, that's like do as I say, not as I do, because I hardly long. I mean, I'd love to trade more dynamically and start doing that. Like take your trade up and then take the backside trade on down. But that's really just
I disagree. I
you
think
disagree.
if you've got a side that works for you, I think as soon as you incorporate um, more strategies until you have fully
Yeah.
systematized, like I mean, send the other one off to a robot. If you're a discretionary trader, I really think focusing on one
Well,
particular strategy is the move.
clearly I agree with you based on how it's just the longing is I like to react to levels that like you map it out. You can be late with the shorts. Essentially, it's like I don't have to be first. That's what I love about it. I can see
Yeah.
what
Watching
we're
for
all
an
the
XLK
bulls want.
breakout. Watching for technology breakout now, guys. Holding really well the XLK.
Yeah, I just look at it like you've got, especially when they're diametrically opposed positions, you're basically saying, eh, finding 5 ways to short companies, I think is
Mhm.
easier than finding a way to short and a way to buy companies, right? Like because they're just it's making your mind split as opposed to when am I going to short this? It's when should I buy it and then turn around and short it? I think it becomes very, very hard to figure out just personally, right?
Mhm.
When I was back in the day.
I think it's just about experience. You can't be a newer trader and then be trying to trade like multiple strategies. Like I can,
If you're doing that, as you're way over trading.
I,
Yeah.
I could trade like 10 strategies, guys, at once. But I think it's just a matter of how many years of experience you have doing this, and then what type of accounts you're taking, what type of strategies, right? And then from there, it's sizing. It's all about
Yeah.
sizing
I
because
was
if you're
about to say
small
that.
enough, you can take a lot of strategies, right? But
Let's
Yeah, I
not
was about to
also
say
forget about the
yeah.
market conditions. That's always going to be telling you different things too, as well, that you learn down the line. So that's also
Mhm.
like right now, I usually am a shorter in small caps. That 97% of my trades from 2022 to 2024 were shorts, but market conditions recently have, and James, or say James, but Kevin would probably think I'm more of a long trader. Just since I've been going along, live with you guys at TTP, you'd probably think I'm more of a long trader in small caps. I am not, but the markets tell me to go long. I don't short the top in small caps. I like trend cracks. I like reversals. After a trend shows me that it's cracked and we're going in a new trend, we're not getting those to be built up. So I trade bounce plays now. So I think it's a little combo of both. It's like what you guys have talked about. I think there are some traders that can trade multiple strategies. I think that some that yes, they can't go long to short or short to long. They need to stay biased to one. But like it goes back to what we just said. It's years on in. If you do this at first, I think a lot of traders should try different strategies at first. But you have to journal and track what you're doing every day. And then you start like at first. All I did was long at first. There was no shorting back in 2016, 2017. There was, but we all know that story. There was just pretty much nowhere to go short. Not like TTP as there is now. So I only had longs, but I had so many long setups to face, and then so it kind of narrowed it down out of the gate. But I realized I was only a good bounce trader. So kind of back to what Michael was saying, I was like, listen, I suck at all this other stuff. I'm going to look for bounce plays every single day. This is who I am as a trader. So it made it really easy for me every day. So I could go and stay focused to one setup and look for that setup, attack that setup, and just every single day that was my job. So definitely helped out to narrow that down early on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and based on conviction too. I've noticed from personally, like with the hangovers, like I can size those. I let them work all day. I'm comfortable with them. If I'm taking a long, like on Zero this morning, I'm not gonna trade it well. Even if I trade it, I'm gonna jump in and trade it scared. I'm like, this thing's up. Yeah, we were getting a pullback to support, but I'm always fearful of that elevator down just because, I just don't have the conviction on it, seeing how
I
many
love
times.
when you start that working that hangover, because right when you say that, I think about I immediately kind of think about one thing else. Like, oh, you okay today there, Kevin?
He's still talking, and we start rallying off these lows here.
Just working the hangover, guys.
We rally off the lows, and then he said something about
If you hear a
bombing
hiccup,
Venezuela, and we're right back down. It's like just get off stage, but just enough. Because I guarantee you, when he's
Get
done,
him off
that's when
stage.
it'll
Get him
move.
off stage. The news is already out about Venezuela. He just wants to be out, like calling it. They're gonna bomb drug cartels in Venezuela. They're just like they're bombing drug cartels in Colombia. They're trying to take their money. That's all it is. Trump found out how much money these cartels have and was like, bro, why don't we just go attack them? Like, do you think these countries are gonna get mad and go to war with us because we attacked the cartels?
Ooh, Robinhood explores prediction markets outside the U.S. Yeah, just another revenue source, guys. Jeez, this company, man, and this chart.
That's why I'm watching the brokers, guys. That's why I'm long and trying to hold, baby.
Yeah, 'cause right now,
one trade getting tested, just to put it out there, MSOS, you're getting that 5 test. And here's where the big wall is, 492, 17,000 shares. So that's kind of like the last hoorah for me. That starts to break, I'll get out. But it's been a great trade. Got to hang on right here, hold 5. If it recovers 5, we're looking good.
Funny talking about Hood, buddy of mine that's actually gonna build my house. He just texted me and said, "Of course, the 2 days I don't look at Hood and trade it." He's like, he's a daily trader of Hood, and he doesn't look at it. Yeah, he's like,
5 are going higher.
I think he's watching the show too. He usually does and chimes in. That's why he texted me, and he was like, "You got to be kidding me." He's like, "The 2 days I don't look at Hood, it goes on a rip."
yeah, this
5s are higher.
nuts.
So
I think this is like the biggest day, the biggest candle in Pfizer.
So the key, guys, and then we're starting to see this with the government, right? The government is starting to turn around dead stories. Why is this happening? I think it's a CEO push. The CEOs are like, well, I just go make a buddy right now. Maybe my stock will actually move. Intel did it, right? We saw LAC now make moves. Now Pfizer's making a really big move. I think you start to buy every single one of these stories because there's money to be made where the government is.
Well, especially when he announces it when the market's open, right? That you're right. That should have just been you read the news, you grab it. It was
grab
right
it.
around 24.
You could have got 24.50s. You could have got that first pullback to 24.25s, risk 24, whole dollar underneath, and you let it fly. And then once it gets to this point where it's starting to fly, you can go break even if you're just, not willing to risk, and then you just let it fly, right? So we'll see what happens here, guys. This is big spots in the market. And I think the Qs are trying to put in a stand at 597. That's the big level that I'm going to watch for in the next 30 minutes to hold and start to drive out of it. We go to 600 real quick. I'm looking for Mega Tech to lead the rally. Also, healthcare doing really well today. Guys, I'm focused in. I'm trying to make some money. You guys can hear it in my voice. I'm just like, let's go. Gas pedal. Stay in the zone, Mitch. Let's go.
Yep.
I'm just literally on. I'm on cruise control right now. I'll put it on cruise control. How about that?
Watching for bull to start flying here, guys. And the fly could be strong above 16. So here comes some volume. There's still the dip buyer at like 5, 1530s, 8,000, almost 9,000 shares.
NVDA 2 is what I'm looking at. It's at all-time high area. So NVDA is another.
Yeah.
That's another one I'm looking at that could definitely take a big
through
move.
185, 43. I'm seeing the 52-week high there.
Yeah, I love it. Love to hear mentions like that, boys, because when I do that and I go to my list, right, and I see things like I have like on NVIDIA, and you guys can see it right here. I'm going to put my screen up. This is what it's all about. This is what was given. This is my notes for the day for Trader TV. NVIDIA, the linchpin. Breakout above 185 is the signal for new legs higher, baby.
Here we go.
I love when you hear that, right? Because multiple traders seeing the same level that I'm seeing now. NVIDIA through that 185. Let's watch the cues lead from what? NVIDIA's rally. Now watch for core weave to go maybe higher with that news, right? That's one that I could watch for. And then what about our Wi-Fi ticker, man? It's hanging in there. I think that thing might take off too. Yeah, have you heard about this Wi-Fi ticker?
What's going on there?
WYFI. So it has
Yeah.
a deal, a big deal already, big contract. Also has some exposure to core weave.
Fiber.
Yeah,
Fiber. Nice.
of course.
Yeah, I'm on that fiber, man. I can't get off of it.
I mean,
You
this
pay
big
like a
data
premium for
centers.
it, but
These big data centers, right? You could just imagine the amount of like fiber optic cable that these things are needing.
NVIDIA up and through highs
Right.
right now.
And where it has NVIDIA goes, what goes? AMD, baby. Let's go. Relationship is starting to play in there. I'm thinking about an AMDL bet. Kind of like that. I'm going to take a smaller bet here. Try to take that AMDL.
Yes, a lot of traders need to utilize that. NVDO for NVDA, TSLL for Tesla. It definitely
Why
helps.
not? Right? Like it's the way I look at it, right? The only downside to them is obviously increased volatility. But
So we need pullbacks to 1025, but I'll take AMDL if it gets there, guys. And it's trying to get loaded up in the 1030. So I might just take here and then look for an ad at that spot. But if I expect the cues to break out, why am I not taking this trade, right?
NVDA rocking right now. Nice move right there. Right as we brought that up, it was literally just hitting new high of day. So good spike right there for NVDA.
All right, I'm going to step up in AMDL. Like there's sometimes when you got to feel the gas pedal. I feel it right now. It's like sitting in a sports car that they gave me in the valet when they used to do that. And I was in Orlando and get valet sports cars. And I used to be like, guys, really want to trust me with this thing? All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go to the parking lot. Let's just say when it would come up, it would come up sounding really mean. Let's go. It's time to. This is when you do the power shift. You guys know about power shifting? When you're in first, you just rip on it and you just hammer down and don't stress it. Just slap that thing in the second. Watch the tires chirp in second. That's when you know you got power. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And now the thing is, can you handle the power?
Ooh, that's what it's all about. That's why you gotta feather it right there. Feather it a little bit.
Yeah.
Play with it a little bit. Play with it. Play with her. You know it, Josh. You know it.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Oh,
I see some real wheel drive Corvette and Mustang owners that don't know how to do that though.
Yeah, I grew up my high school car, 99 Cobra. Let's go, baby.
That's nice. That's
A
nice.
convertible, electric green. Oh,
Woo. That'd still be nice to have in the garage right now.
yeah. You guys want to hear it? And this is a good story. I actually sold it for a trading account.
All right. Well, look, we got you. That's sweet. That's pretty cool.
Too bad that trading account went to zero.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say okay.
But hey,
That's what happens.
sometimes you gotta take shots in life, man. I took a shot early on in my trading career, didn't pay out, but hey, sometimes you gotta take shots.
and that's the time to take shots, right? When you're early,
Yeah.
your accounts are smaller, right? And then you
bounce back.
learn from that. So when your accounts are bigger, you're not taking as
big as a
you got that
wallop.
experience
Yeah,
under the
I'm
belt.
so thankful. I got started when I was a college, kid and broke and all that. Because I mean, there's a reason the saying goes, it makes stock market makes poor people rich, rich people poor. There's a reason for it. Did you guys see WOLF? Speaking of making people poor and rich,
I know. Well,
WOLF.
I'm short that currently. So
Oh, okay. So it was a slightly, and it looked like a split yesterday, but I don't think it was. It just the
I was saying a
movement.
restructuring plan. Someone in chat was
Yeah.
talking. I'm short. I'm up on. I'm short from 29.5. That's just where the bot got short
Okay.
this morning.
Yeah. It's a very interesting play, WLF, with the reconstructuring of their plan there. But yeah, up from $1 to 29 right now. So
Yeah, nice 2,500% return. You know, that's
Yeah.
all you need. Get a couple of those. In your pocket. 10 grand at 250. That's I'd take it.
Yeah, I can't imagine Golden Hoper, that was in there for who knows how long. And this is and then they finally got it. And then they get a $20 gap up. I can't imagine the feeling.
yeah, I've
and
been on the end of the gap down, not the gap up. Yeah. Well,
that's the
if
thing,
you're
and I was saying it's a shame because it will ruin. Because again, if you ever want to think that you've lost touch of the market, just go on Twitter and search BBBYQ. There is still a group of people out there, and they'll fight you if you talk to them that think that Bed Bath Beyond is coming back and is going to make them billionaires. A whole tons of them, like a podcast, a whole group. Even though the ticker is now from Overstock, like the ticker BBBY is back and it's
It
Overstock.
was the okay, because that was the big Wall Street bets play, right? Like during the era of GME, AMC, they all
that
it was like
one of the
heavily
ones.
shorted. Yeah,
And even though the company emailed you if you were a shareholder and said your shares are gone, declare this as a loss on your taxes, they're going, no, it's coming back and it's going to make me a billionaire. And I guess the biggest kind of biggest game that they played is if you had BBY as a ticker in TradingView, when Overstock changed their ticker over, TradingView didn't adjust the calculation. So in your watch list, it showed it up like 10,000% because it went from $0 to like $10. So you had all these people that were up and they were celebrating. They're like, look, I told you. And they were like being real. I follow a couple on Twitter, being real. I told you this is great. Just wait till my broker puts the shares back in. And everyone's like, dude, sorry to tell you, that was just a name change. But yeah, it's wild. And then you look.
So
at
what
something
showed
like
up in their
Wolf,
account? Did it show up? That you're up 1,000%?
No, just on TradingView. It wouldn't show up in the account
Okay.
because the shares were just extinguished, and you're sent a tax form, right? Oh, I see him clapping, and everyone's clapping for him. So that means
Spy heading down a little bit
done.
here, guys, as he's coming off. I'm going to look for a quick sweep back, but you got to be careful here.
Yeah, he's walking off. He's walking off stage, I think. Yeah, they're playing trumpets and stuff. So I think it's finally done.
Trumpets and
Now,
stuff.
now the market gets to do whatever the market wants to do, which it looks like is, at least for now, to the downside.
Yeah, get some good pull right here. See if you can get
Watch that hourly wicks, right? Look for wicks to hold here.
D-Pro was one of the leading plays this morning. It's trying to get that little creepy curl on it, lower float play. We'll see if that one wants to try to squeeze some shorts out. Cross back over the open, holding VWAP right now.
All right, biggest one that I'm in, at least that I have to be careful of, is bull, right? I was up big on this. Now I came back down. I had gotten up as much as about almost 240. So definitely a trade that I am like, fighting a little bit here against it. But there's so much loading on these pullbacks. I see the price action. I'm like, Mitch, just keep watching the price action here. Look for dips and then the rips back up. We'll see what happens in the Qs. Dips and then rips. That's what I'm going to look for.
Yeah, so here on the SPY, right? And we marked this line really early in the day, just the pre-market low, nothing crazy. So that's what we're looking for. If we can retake that pre-market low, about 6, and it looks like we're trying to here, around 662, we retake that and hold that, and then dig in for a minute and show that this isn't a little dead cat bounce. Maybe, right? Maybe we can start to reverse the highs because he's gone now. So the market gets to finally make up its mind, decide what
And
it wants to do.
NVIDIA. That's what I'm watching here, guys. So the 15-minute pattern is going to undercut the 185 here, it looks like. I want to see if it holds 185 here and just starts to push right back up. So I think it's an important stock to hold on a trend type of move today.
Right. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Mitch. Definitely in my eyes on NVDA for a trade for sure. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. That's really smart. Like I put in chat, small cap slow. You know, you're an hour in after the opening bell, and I'm not even looking at small caps. That definitely means you're slow today.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a busy week, right? So I think you're going to get a lot of this where if you look at just, I mean, we've got another big number tomorrow with manufacturing PMI, and then there's on Friday, there's a whole bunch. That's unemployment, non-farm. That's what we really care about.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big week when it comes to looking at the market as a whole. So I wouldn't be surprised. Plus, right, we're just kind of between IWM. You can look at the SPY as well, and anywhere between this dip down here and then the all-time highs up here, right? That's range bound, and we could be range bound for another little while, but. We certainly didn't get the September woes that everyone was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Considering, well, I guess in theory we could go negative this month, but that'd be that'd be a hell of a crash. You'd have to go down 5% in a single day. But
look at the coin setups. What do you think about this pattern here? I'm still in it, but
I haven't looked at Bitcoin in a bit.
It's a pretty pattern there on the 15. All right, looking good here, boys. I'll be right back here. This is when, you're feeling the pressure so much. There really shouldn't be pressure. So I'm going to take a step away. Just breathe, relax, take the trade, patience. Everything is still lining up well here. Just need the cues to hold on. You know what's a telling sign for me? That the VIX is not pushing to the resistance. So the VXX is a really thing that I watch often, and I'm not seeing it push the resistance. If it was at let's say 34s, or 33.85 here, I'd feel a little bit more of that pressure here. The SPY's lower, but the VIX is actually down on the day.
Yeah, we're now that Trump is done talking, I think we need to let things shake out a little bit, and, then process what he was saying, and then we can finally make a move. And I think it's important just to tap on what Mitch said there, is that knowing that how you feel is a big deal. Like I remember talking to Brett Steenbarger, who's just a really well-known trader psychologist, and he works for a bunch of different hedge funds. And one of the things he implemented in those funds is people wearing Apple Watches, heart rate monitor type things that were being tracked. So the risk management desk had everyone's position and everyone's heart rate right next to it. And just
it's important. I used to trade especially Kevin and you guys and Josh, small caps. I used to wear a watch heart monitor on my hand.
Yep. So yeah, he showed me in one of these hedge funds, and again, he's the mental guy, he's the psychologist, and the risk manager would have one monitor, and it would have all of their positions, their net P&L and their positions, and then right next to that, it would have all of their heart rates and a chart, a little spark chart with them. And the idea was that if he saw somebody's heart rate spike, he knew that's the guy to go look at and see what position he's in. And he would open it up and look at the position. And then sometimes, you would just walk out, because when you're trading at funds, that's the scary guy, the risk manager, right? Because he's at the end of the day, he controls everything. He can shut you down. He's the one who's going to get you fired if you do something stupid. But, even though he would just reach out to them every now and then and said, "Hey man, what's going on? Why are you nervous? What do you got on the go?"
Yeah.
And so kind of identifying that in yourself, I think is great. And then also, just using that technology. If you have an Apple Watch or something, just start tracking your heart rate. If you notice during a trade, you're pretty, upset one way or another. And I think I'm pretty chill. And even though not all 6 of my trades are down now, but 5 of them out of 6 are down now. The it just shouldn't affect you, right? And when you notice it does, you have to step away. And same with me. Like as soon as we're done here, I shut down Trader Evolution for the day and I walk away. I won't know what my P&L is until the end of the day, because there's just no benefit to me looking at it, because I'm just going to do stupid stuff. But yeah, identifying that within yourself, I think, is a big thing for discretionary traders.
That's
Because
so interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
I say all the time, like as long as I've been doing this since 2016, and the emotions are there. I think I used to think one day we'll not have any emotions anymore, but I mean they come up, and the difference is how to respond to them. So like that
yeah,
risk manager, it's like you kind of know what they're telling you. It's like, oh, maybe I should take the opposite into that trade once the emotions are spiking, or you just know how to react to them better. So when I see something, for instance, going parabolic now, my first instinct is not to just buy high and hope higher, like it may have been day one. It's going to be something different, like
well,
scaling short against resistance, something
and
along
you
those
can't. I think the worst advice that people give new traders is like, oh, you got to learn to like turn off your emotions. It's like you can't. And they've done experiments where they've taken people who've had like the emotional part of their brain damaged, and they just try to get them to do simple things like pick out cereal or whatever, and they can't do it. You can't make. We've basically proven you cannot make decisions without emotion. Period. Like we're not robots,
interesting.
right? So
Uh,
it's like they're gonna be there. It's just acknowledging, like Mitch did, and said, you know what? The market hasn't moved today. I'm getting a little bit too jacked up here. All right, go. Hey, take a walk and
Yeah, we know
right,
exactly what to do. Like
take a breath.
before, we may go on tilt and blow up, and these days we know it's time to step away. So it's very smart. But some people know they wanna feel. It's like I want to feel get position size where I actually feel a little nervous. Because that's that dopamine, right? That's why people go to the
Right.
casinos and whatnot. I want to feel something. Yeah, you got to work against that.
Well, and that's why I shut down and I removed because I found like if I could have all the time that I've wasted watching my P&L tick up and down in trades that I'm planning on holding all day or all week or all
Yeah,
month, I would, right, I'd have like a second life. And, then you got to ask yourself, why are you doing that? And it's all just, yeah, it's the dopamine, right? You're looking for something. So, get rid of that and replace it with something else, right? Go skydiving.
Yeah.
It's probably safer than getting your dopamine fix from the market. As we once again move back to highs. This is a day, guys. This is like
Let's
7
go.
times new highs and new
Let's
lows over and
go.
over again.
Those hourly levels holding well.
Yep.
Now it's time to take 600 and let's go. Go! All those guys that want to take profits. Let's show them what new legs in this bull market can look like.
in small cap land, we got ZYBT popping up. Just an FYI, I'm pulling up that chart. Small cap's been kind of dead. So again, I know, Josh went over this earlier. That what's the sentiment of the market as far as in small caps? If it's weak, that may create bearish sentiment on it. So ZYBT popping up. I don't see news. Looking left of the chart, I do see a strong 520 resistance. That would be an area I would be looking at for a short. Just FYI.
Stepping up.
ZYBT.
Sorry to cut you off, Kevin. This is that moment right now, guys, where look at the NVIDIA. I think that's a telling sign.
Yeah.
Right?
What a
Yeah.
what a U
What a
shape on the
monster.
D Pro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Duke,
D Pro and small cap land too. Yep, held the VWAP, tested the open, broke through it. We went over that on the VWAP and coming back up towards the highs on the day. So those two pretty much right now in small cap land: Z Pro, ZYBT.
Yep. And then Mitch, you're all over that 185 reclaim, and push back up. I got in small on NVDA here just for that pop on up there. Beautiful move here. This all-time high area. This, in my opinion, it's probably going to hit 187.50. This is my target area for NVDA.
Oh.
If you're trading NVDO, which isn't another bad option as well, take that up to the 95 mark at most there for NVDL. So I like NVDL, NVDA, whichever one of those you want to trade there. These are my two babies for the day. Usually Tesla, but NVDA is the baby today.
NVDA had a beautiful bounce off of that 185.
Yeah,
Excellent.
he was all
work.
over.
Yeah, excellent work in that, Mr.
Yes,
Moneyman.
yes. And just to kind of touch back up when you're talking about, the way to turn and I noticed that too. That's why I don't short the top a lot of the time, because immediately when I do, I feel like my adrenaline is, I know it is. It's just, I feel like I'm on the top of a roll, like the top of a skyscraper. I hate heights. Like I'm terrified of heights.
Here's another one for you, Josh. I know you're into the big boys today. I'm going to take you to the big boy life. What about MEFU, where Microsoft leverage? I love the ticker.
What is it?
It's MEFU or no, it's MSFU. There you go.
Oh,
MSFU.
okay, for Microsoft. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay.
Oh, look at that. Nice
Okay.
little break.
Yeah.
Microsoft, big cap rally starting up here. I'm
Love
looking
it.
for Apple to go to new to highs also. If you want to look at another one, Apple holding in there. Now starting to push. The market loves to go where tech goes, so that's why I'm watching XLK today. Look at the XLK looking perky around the 282.
Yeah, the Q's just about to tick green. Like it's down 0.01%. So those red to green traders, you guys got to remember those guys exist where they do just that. They want to see when the market flips from being down on the day to back up on the day.
Right.
And then that's their buy ticker. Either there's two ways to do it. One, do red to green on the candle. So when does it crash through the open? Then also when does it cross through prior day's close? Another different well-known trading strategy. And yeah, the Qs are just right there. Again, down 0.01% on the day. So as close to flat as you can get with only having two decimals.
Now you can start looking at what's leading in the last 15 minutes. There's going to be stocks that start to take lead now. I'd be watching to see what themes are showing up there. One theme that I'll be looking at is RCAT. I talked about that one earlier. Now starting to recover 1050. BTBT trying to recover 3. Tilray coming back. That's what I want to see on cannabis. Let's go cannabis. Clean Spark doing a little bit of a push. NNE starting to push back. Looking at stocks there, they're setting up there. Mara recovering 1825s. Looks interesting there on those. I'm just calling out last 15 minutes. So stocks that are literally just up right now and starting to perk up. So those are the names that I'd keep watch to see if they take lead.
Took a little off of NVIDIA there at 187. So took a little off there at 187. 187.50 prime target. Then I'll let anything else after that run if we get past it.
Palantir leading also. So there you guys have it. Some software continuing up. Apps at $6 for you small boys. Kevin, take a look at this one. I know it's not as high of a flyer, but this is an interesting one. Apps, $6 name, and pushing strong.
Yeah, I like the holding the previous close, holding the 590s as well, 595.
Yeah.
Very
small
strong
name there.
That's what we're getting today. You got to take, you take what you get. Some days you get crumbs, some days you get the whole pie, So, and I think back to what Michael said, I actually talked about that. I do a weekly preview every Sunday of what I think the stock market, and I feel that we're range bound, chop this week. Find your good day. Small caps probably be a little bit slower. And it always seems that way late last week of September to the 1st of October dies off in small caps most years. So, and that's the thing, and this is where going back to then, like most of this is psychological part of trading. Well, you have to understand you're not always going to get home run trades, and you need to understand that base hits is what makes this last forever. It's not home runs. If you can have base hits, you will last a long time.
Yep.
Because then you're staying alive and you're making money, and then every now and then you just get lucky.
Yeah.
Like QM.
Like you, I'm always going to remember that. Like the QMML. Yeah. That was amazing.
Speaking of QMMN, I put it on alert. I think the SEC holds.
Oh, yeah. T12. I saw it was Friday at like 7:50 p.m.
Did they really?
Yeah, they halted it for social media manipulation, and it's like, wow, the SEC did a thing.
They did, they did a thing finally. Well, I can't wait to bring that up on my live stream. I did not know that. That is awesome. I can't wait to tell my group about that.
They did a whole thing. They're actually investigating someone for securities fraud. It's wild that the Securities Commission would do that.
The T12s you don't see often, but they're certainly not bullish. You don't want to be involved long on QMMM because those halts can last months. I've seen that.
Oh yeah, and it's one of those even if there's no wrongdoing found, while they're kicking down your doors and they're taking your computers and they're looking through them and they're disrupting your entire operations for months just to make sure you're fine. And that can completely destroy the business, even if the business was fine before. Right. So yeah, that's rip.
Yeah, not what you want. not what you want to see
Anyone's
with
holding that
you're
wrong.
part of that
Long.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know one person that actually was in a T12, and yeah, and like most, did not end that well. I mean, luckily, he's still a trader, and he wasn't in it big when it T12, but yeah, he was in a T12, and it was months, obviously, until that came live again. But
Well, this thing about Yandex, right? That was
yeah,
halted 3 years ago now, and has not opened. And who knows? And if you held Yandex into that halt, along with I think a couple ETFs, some Russian ETFs, you just can't do anything. You're just hoping that it opens up at some point in your life. And if you had a huge position, that's just been years and years without it. So
yeah, I can't imagine just having like, and you see the horror stories of where you go to like those message boards we talk about, and yeah, I'm in this play. Well, when will it come live again? I'm they're pretty much in their full account, and they're like, yeah, your money is stuck. You won't be seeing that for a long time.
nothing you can do. You just
Nothing.
go to work and build up another account and hope it opens up one day.
Yep.
APLD looking interesting there on that recovery. Starting to see UUU starting to fly. Mara starting to make the move. I just talked about it. We'll see if this is one that I'm keeping on the radar in the longer term idea is this little pattern on Valet. SoFi on the pullback right now. Hood pulling back a little bit there. SGML on a pullback today. LAC also still pulling back. When it gets back through 6, I want to be watching that name, but right now is not the time. It's time. It's time for Bull to come back. Let's see if it's going to come back for me. This is the one name I'm down on right now, but dude, I've seen so many share size and big, like 25,000 share orders going through here. I'm just trying to hold on. Let that be a big buyer, and let's ride that big buyer's wave.
You gonna play that old school song, Wole Bole, Wole Bole.
They're doing it right now. Pfizer pulling back to the 9 EMA. So if you guys are looking for opportunities on that Pfizer pullback, there it is. You're getting it right now. And there's your pullback.
Yeah.
Oh, part of me wants to take this in the long-term account.
Pfizer.
Yeah, just I've seen we're going pure socialism here, right? The government's just getting involved with all these companies, so why not? If that's what's going to happen, I
Hey, dude,
can either
you're on the
complain about it
outside
or make a
looking
move
in.
from
You
it.
can make
So,
money on it, right? That's what I'm saying, dude. Like anything that's mentioned right now with the government, I mean, why would you fight that?
yeah, if that's what we're doing,
Like, even if I was short and I would find that out, let's say I was short Pfizer and I would have found that out today, I would have really quickly been running to the screen to
yeah.
be like, yo, get me out of my Pfizer short now.
Well, and it's like they can't, they can't let the company go now, right? There's no world in which there's no world in which Pfizer go under. So you can pop into the company knowing that the likelihood of any bankruptcy is near zero for at least the next 3 years or whatever. Um, you know,
And just to make it better, it is doing a technical kind of action there. MACD trying to cross. I think it's going to be really this 24-25 might be the bottom right here on this pullback. It doesn't seem like a bad area to take a shot off of the 24s. Right.
oh man, at some point we're gonna go through indicators. I've been going down this rabbit hole with a guy, CMT, who's reinvented the MACD, and he calls it the MACDV.
Reinvented the
And it is
MACDV.
way better, and it makes way more sense.
Let's
I
go.
won't bore everyone with the details now. We'll
Tell them
talk
to
about
come
that.
on. I
But
like the MACD.
it's a volatility normalized version. So essentially, the MACD right now is dollar weighted, which makes no
Yeah.
sense because it will move different depending on the securities. So this guy basically took the very, very simple math, but very intelligently done, where he just says, well, what if we normalize the MACD movement for volatility? And then he's been doing all this testing on it and everything, and it works way better. And it's really, really simple. It's in TradingView. I'm sure it's going to be in the rest of them as well. He just calls it the MACDV. Because right now you could never compare the MACD across securities or across time, because as of the price of a security moves, the calculation gets all messed up. Where in this case, you can compare it across securities and across time, so it becomes a better kind of quantitative tool.
Yeah, I love the MACD, so that'd be awesome. I'd love to see that. So,
I think we
well,
should do that.
after we do some karaoke in Orlando time to open up the, time to talk about that. So is this a friend that's doing this that you know?
Yeah, I'm in a email list with him and like Larry Williams and John Boilinger and all those, like
Oh,
the Boilinger band guy and
yeah.
the Williams are and all these, and they talk about the stuff all the time. So he's done a couple of presentations,
All
but
right.
what brought it back to my mind is there's this. I'm sure you've seen the videos on YouTube where this guy's like drawing out, where he's doing like reviews of books, and he's like looks like he's drawing on a whiteboard. This financial wisdom thing. I'll post it just in case anyone's interested. I'll post it in the chat here. So yeah, it's just an interesting way to talk about and to redo an indicator that's been around forever in a way that makes more sense. And because he's doing it from a quantitative side, I've never used the MACD because I can't test it across securities and across time. But now with this new one, I could. So now I'm going back and reworking some of the strategies that I had based off it. But that's the
Gotta love when I click on that link, it goes to 15 minutes it goes like I'm like, okay, so I've seen this one.
oh
yeah, I love
no.
it. Yeah,
No,
I
that's
did that too. I think that was
no,
me.
that's mine. That's
Okay,
that's probably where I pause it.
okay. I was like, so I guess I've seen this. Okay,
That's probably where he starts selling stuff at the end of the video. It's probably why I paused it there. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for us now. As everything.
The question is it for me, man? I'm in gas pedal mode. I can just see the market just getting ready to go here. Let's go. Come on.
Spy's hitting that area. Spy's hitting that high.
Like when I run through the list and this just looks like this, it just looks really good. Especially like the speculative names like when Palantir is just ripping through the moon. I don't think it's going to be too much of a risk off type of day.
Well, listen, guys, you YOLO responsibly. I've got to get the kids that are the kids are home, and I hear one pounding its head against the wall, so I should go attend to that. But
I think Bitcoin will be a good measurement. We'll see you, Michael.
Yeah.
Take care.
Mike. Have a good one.
All right, Michael's out of here. Let's
So feeling it today, Money Mitch, huh? Getting that gas pedal going, like we discussed.
And sometimes it's tough, right? Like let's say like my bull trade, I'm like down like 100 on it, but I gotta hold on right here. Like what's gonna be the difference? 110, 115? You know, like sometimes we get so picky about like that number that it can really affect you. You can get out of a trade that's really working well, and what's telling me to stay in it is the other brokerages, right? So I just have to stay with the cues, stay with the strength, right? Because if we break 600 here, it's going to start climbing. Like the tide is going to start lifting the boats, right? And so that's what you want to be seeing, that the SPY, you see these wicks on the hourly? This is why I kept saying, look for those hourly wicks to hold. Hourly wicks, hourly wicks. You know what I say? Wicks are tricks, and tricks are for kids, guys, not for adults. Yeah. And there you go. Like that recovery, when you get these types of moves, they're usually not selling. They're not shorts just loading at 662. These are buying. This is buying pressure when it's coming down. So the key sign for me today, and I'll end off with this, is the VIX. It never really is getting that lift. That's a telling sign, guys. I watch it all the time. When it does get lift, then you can kind of get a little bit more worrisome, right? But it's just been pretty weak all day, right? So keep your eyes on important levels.
I like the tide rises the boats. I like that one. That was
Yeah.
It's the truth, though. The market is the tide, guys. And when the tide works and it's lifting, it eventually lifts all boats. And the reason why, it's part of the VIX also. So when things get heightened on the VIX and you're kind of now going down, right? So when things get heightened, the market, all those stocks kind of move with it. But right now, you want to see the market just continue to lift the tide, right? Just continue back up. Because if we start pushing, let's say 665 today, 667, I mean, you're missing the breakout. That's why I'm not trying to miss breakouts when everyone's so negative about the day. Oh no, the government's shutting down. No, oh no. Well, you guys know how it is. Let's not be all sad on that trumpet. Let's go. Make that money. See you next time, traders.
Happy Thursday, Mitch.
Money Mitch, appreciate you. Take care.
Yeah, good day. Gotta love it.
Good day, mate. Yeah. So far, I mean, today's been. Sorry, my screen went out. I don't know why that keeps happening. I can show the trade the pull screen too. I do the charting over at Thinkorswim though, but I'm up decent on the day. I mean, I've been kicking back just with a few trades, Josh. ENTA is the bread and butter. I've been just kicking back there with leftovers. Um, I mean, it's yesterday. I had a clean green day, and then I gave it back at the end of the day, and I just told myself I'm not doing that again today.
Yeah.
So, but things are working pretty clean so far. ZYBT, I would have taken at 5. Maybe should have started it with a feeler. I liked your analysis. Like, if the small cap lands heavy and not getting sustainable momentum on it, like it's probably not a bad idea to throw a feeler out, even though like if I was planning for the 5 entry, but I could have gone half shares, at where it topped out at here. That one got heavy real quick. And if some of you were watching, PFE I just noticed PFE tapped the 200 perfectly. And mostly I'm in small cap land, but I mean, the 200 day was beautiful. PFE, it is kind of bouncing off of this previous low it put in, so be mindful of that. Nvidia, a lot of you were taking that. That was excellent. Good work there. D-Pro and small cap land, that one has curled around. Now, again, this is through experience. We were talking about experience earlier, and experience is your best teacher. So D-Pro, what I notice here is this thing has been stair-stepping back up. As preferably, what I mainly do short sell. I'm not looking for for things to stare up. I want euphoria. I want the ticker to be overbought and get it euphoria. Then oftentimes we will do like what we did with ZYBT. We will shoot up and we just get heavy and fade back on down as FOMO traders are buying the top, and they create the heavy nature to it. So D-Pro I'm avoiding right now because of that on the short side. It is stair stepping up here to the highs. Stair steps a sign of health. We could see it try to squeeze past those highs there on D-Pro, but I am watching it because there's volatility volume here. There's nothing else really moving small cap land. What we can notice is a little bit of this gap to fill towards 9 that it's trying to fill. It kind of did. And then, of course, 10 might be the magnet at this point, since it's that close to it, popping up right now. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, just back to overall. It is just slow out when you're looking at your top gainer board, and your top gainer boards in the 30, 40, 50s, somewhere in that area. But yeah, I would say if you're looking at a play to spike D-Pro, the staircase, of course, here's your uptrend channel right there that we've been working in slowly, surely over the past hour or so at this point. And try to pop out of it and see if we can hold that and sustain it. I'm going to say I doubt we do, honestly, and I bet we get a reversal coming up soon. Back down into that trend, just go back out to the left like Kevin's talking about. There's not a lot there, so you got to go further back in time and try to find that next resistance area, whether you go yearly, you go weekly at this point. I just kind of drop back to that 10 right there. That should give me that should get the job done. That should get her done. And sure enough does. So then I'm trying to go back here and identify where resistance and support is, and that's how you do it. And you can see right here at this mark, this is where we're failing at over and over and over, and that upper shadow about meets that lower shadow right there. I call that wick to wick. And this is the only time, back to Trader Mitch, and yeah, wicks are for kids, right? Tricks, I'm worried about candlestick and confirmation of it. I'm worried about the body of the candle, I'm not worried about the wicks. This is the only time I ever look at or worry about wicks is with small cap plays, and this move, when you see something like that, we're holding there. And so,
see it, popping up, breaking through the highs. Yeah.
So that's it for your small cap play for today. And when I see that, and when I come into the, today, like today, when we have a slower day, I usually don't trade small caps. I mean, just go back to the middle part of this that, Michael and you guys were kind of talking about and touch up on this, since I didn't really do too much talking on it. I like going both ways. I can go both ways, small cap or large cap. Now, usually, generally, small cap, it's defined already. I can feel for the day, I'm going to go short. Okay. I mean, or like I was for a while when I was doing trend crack, that kind of thing. And I call them shelf cracks. But point being, I was short all the time. Now I'm a little bit more long biased and based when it comes to small caps. But large caps, I can go either way. And just for whatever reason, when I learned them in 2022 and started trading them into 2023, I never had a bias. It was just trade where the chart tells you to trade. And so luckily there I can. And then that just leads me to like the heart rate thing. I notice when I'm in trades, and I immediately feel like I'm at the top of a skyscraper, and I'm 1,000 feet in the air, and all of a sudden I just blink my eyes and someone put me at the top. And I know when I'm taking those trades, and I don't like taking those trades. No one does. Money Mitch talks about it. Michael, right? We want to be nice, relaxed, and calm. Most of my trades that I'm ever undertaking, I don't even think about it. I just trade. It's, like I always revert back to, I don't know why, but I guess because Dillard's had many departments And every day I went to the same department. I sold ladies' shoes. I didn't go to the polo section or sold men's suits or did what. It was women's shoes every single day. And every day that was what everyone, you saw them in their own area. But they were essentially trading the same thing every day. And they were comfortable doing it. And that's how I feel as well. So you got to figure out what you are as a trader, who you are as a trader first. And that comes with tracking and journaling. And like Michael was saying, get that down. Be a one-way trader. Just trade one way, whether it's long or short, and get that down over and over and over to where, like he was saying, you can almost send that to a bot. You can do that in your sleep. And then you can go over and do different strategies. And like they touched on, was it takes years to get there to where I can trade this setup, or I can trade that setup, or I can be kind of a ref and be not biased, or well, not my tush. Forget refs. Those guys are, oh man. Okay, some refs are maybe unbiased, but most those guys, they have an agenda. I'm not going to get into sports and refs, but anywho, that's another.
Back to you with sports. Mr.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's a whole nother talk for another day.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it just takes time, and then you got to get comfortable with what you're doing. And like, when Kevin's talking about his setup and his euphoric moves, and we start using the same words and the same verbiage over and over and over because we've rinse and repeat that same thing. And so it gets comfortable to trade that. And again, like I said, when I went to Dillard's, it wasn't, or any job I've had in the past, it was just you had the job and you show up every day and you did the same freaking thing without really, in the end, almost much of a thought process. And I know it goes back to any decision or anything we do. It's almost, there's some kind of emotion that's
there is muscle memory certainly involved over time. Like,
right.
For instance, I just got the 25K funded, and when it opened up, I'm like, I am feeling, I don't really want to have drawdowns on it. I want to, feeling a little nerve there. Like I want to start green and start pushing this account forward. But at the end of the day, like the muscle memory just takes over. You do what works. You do what works. I admire.
How do we get the 4 boxes? I thought we were in 2 boxes. Sorry, I just looked at that again. We're back to 4 boxes.
I don't know. So
I thought we got rid of them.
Oh, I keep pressing remove, but it's not. Oh, there it is. Remove.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Like what's going on there?
I admire that about you though. Like you're able to just trade and react. You've seen it all. You've seen it all in the market, and you really can be what's the animal that can just essentially just kind of you just approach it, and you can to the market where
chameleon?
Whatever. What is it?
A chameleon?
I kept thinking I was going to say something else. Chameleon. Yeah, you just adapt. You're going to change colors essentially to what the market's color is, if you will, for the day. And you're able to do that very well. So I do admire that. It's like, yeah, some days you're in here, you're taking long, shorts, just whatever. You're just reacting to what is. I that's what I try to say to trade what is, not what you want to see. Because if you're trying to force what you want to see on the market, it's very expensive to try to prove to the market that you're right. I've learned that lesson too many times over. CR Trader, good to see you in here. Looking at D Pro for 10, and yeah, I love that approach. I mean, that's how I look at it too. I'm like, I can't really take the long here on D Pro, but I'll react to the short if it gets to that level.
Taking a little more of NVDA, bro. Didn't mean to cut you off, but just NVDA, it really feels a little top heavy right here. It's close enough to 87.50. So I'm into my final share size just so everyone knows on NVDA. Gorgeous little spike there. Brought that up when it was in the 84 mark. Got the reclaim of 85 for the entry that Mitch was talking about. And then, ran that up to 87, almost 87.50. It's close enough for me. Might get a little higher, but yeah, I'm in my final share size on that one.
Good job taking profits along the way too.
And just stuff like that, you start noticing where, hey, if you fill a trade and it's getting close enough to your area, we talked about that even earlier, and kind of Tuna said the same thing. You have a number taking, but have a number and be close enough with it. You don't have to be, and I know Mitch was saying the same thing. You don't have to be like, if 87.50 is your number, you don't have to get to 87.50 on the dot. 87.35 is close enough to me. And I will be very happy with that at the end of the day, because what happens with a lot of traders, they don't take it because they have a set number of 87.50. Like, Mitch was talking about, I got to have 87.50. And they don't take 87.35. Next thing you know, it cools over, and then blah, 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 it pulls back. And next thing you know, you're red. And like we talked about last week on the Collins show, then we know we're holding and hoping, and then we watch it turn red. And we're like, well, if I can just get back to even, I'll take it. If I can just get back to 100 down, I'll take it. Next thing you know, they're down $500 or $1,000 because they kept doing the hold and hope strategy, which is, well, I was just up 200. Now I'm even. Let me get back to 200. Well, I was just even. Let me get back to that, and I'll take it. And then unfortunately start doing that more often, and that becomes a habit.
You don't want to be trading for Really anything. I mean, I mentioned I have a Q on the day that I try to hit, but honestly, if you're trading for that, it's not good. You want to be trading your edge when it presents itself, and not and then putting yourself in the favorable conditions of it, and take with the positive EV that you have, and take it.
Yep.
Otherwise, yeah, and that may be a huge day if you're seeing the edge present itself, you take it.
Right.
Now you got to have the edge first. A lot of new traders, it's like over trading everything. PATH was beautiful. I like to go back revisit some of these. Just a great bear flag there. Ended up fading, working out great. Right now, what I'm looking at, I'm kicking back, but D Pro, I like that up towards 10 if we get there for a short.
And there's that pullback, like I talked about. Just did not. It looks like it wants to just stay on that uptrend channel. Does Depro? It just looks like it's just going to stay in that choppy uptrend kind of.
Man, ZYBT.
Yeah, path was gorgeous. I love those bear flags back onto the VWAP. That you were just showing a second ago.
Just wait for those. Like Mitch was saying, he has 10 different setups that he trades, and I do as well. I mean, there's once you've been doing this a while, you see certain setups. You don't have to take random trading. We go over that is going to equal random results. So wait for the setups. I mean, they don't all have to be that pocket bear ace hand. You can trade a pocket 5, pocket 10s, and some of these hands are good. Even if something I am trying to work through as well, Josh, is like if I do like to be personally near the top, and but that affects me. Like I'll avoid taking a good setup if I'm several points off of the top, but we're still up many points off of the open or the from the previous close, and so I'm trying to work on still it's like it's not where I want to get in it at, but it's a good setup.
Yeah. Well, I put out a lesson not too long ago on YouTube. I call it tiers or levels below or above VWAP, and so that lets me know how many tiers or levels. So essentially, how many bounce levels are we below the VWAP? And so if I get 2 bounce plays below VWAP, I'll still take the play, as in for that short, which I think that one was still there on PATH. But yeah, if you get to that, that's what I look at, like levels below. So how many times have you bounced above or below the VWAP? And that's usually then will lead me away to it and just go, okay, you're too many levels above or you're too many levels below. Just don't take it. And if it works out, it works out, and you just kind of let it go. But yes, that's a lot of traders. They want to get that ultimate high. They got to get the top, and
I recognize that for me. That's a potent emotion. Like I do want to get the top.
Another thing what I'd love to work on during the time would be like you were kind of saying you were saying to Mike earlier about this, right? I got pretty much out of all my NVDA trade, but small shares. And why didn't I go short? Because I felt the short was coming. And then look at the short on NVDA. Same thing here for Depot.
Yeah, ride it up, ride it down.
And I'm like, God, I sat there and said, this is probably what's going to happen. And then the same thing on NVDA. I said, okay, I'm going to get out of most of my shares and leave the small amount because it's looking like it's top heavy. And then here comes the pullback. And so that's what that's what gets on my nerves, but I'd love to work on down the line, kind of like what you were just saying with Michael, stuff you'd like to work on would be that. Like, man, I sat there and said this would happen, and sure enough, right after.
I didn't do it. I do that all the time. And just like what I just said, where I don't get the top and then I avoid taking the trade. Well, D-Pro, it still may give a good entry here. It did crack this trend, so we have I like to have something to risk off of too. Right. Is that going to be 933? 10, when they get this close to 10, this thing just stair-stepped up here. I didn't like that, but we have this high to risk off of, and small cap land's been fairly bearish anyways today. I mean, we saw the ZYBT. That thing just gave everything back here when that popped up. So that is one I'm monitoring. Yeah, NVDA right off the 187s. Is it gonna form an upper wick against all this resistance? This is the interesting thing. I mean, with NVDA. Is it going to form an upper wick here and pull back under 185 today, or are we going to close above the 52-week high and above this resistance?
Yeah, my stop loss is going to be 186 just because it keeps holding. It's like went to 184, held 184, went to 185, held 185. So again, if it doesn't continue that pattern and trend, which I love noticing, that's me kind of a trader. I just notice trends and trade them. It popped over 183, held 183. So if it doesn't hold 186 here, 186 is my stop loss, and I don't want to be in that anymore, and just take the little bit of profit that I have left in it. So it keeps breaking over dollar, holding dollar on the way up today, 83, 84, 85, 86. Didn't do that at 87. Didn't really break over 87, as you can see there. But this is what I'm talking about now, showing me on my chart. So there's, went over 83, held it, 180 went over 84 here. We held 184, went over 185, and that was that little teardrop where I got in on this reversal back up in this area, and then took got about $1, almost $1.50, of course, out of it already. Now almost two. And so again, if we keep holding dollar on the way up, it's got to hold 186, or we could see a nice reversal and sell off again at all-time high. Traders will be taking profit. That's a good size day on NVDA, it being up close to 2.5%. And that's a good, like James, like you talked to James, or you say, at least chatted back to him in the chat there, Kevin, to James. But that's a good idea there, James. I mean, James says I use $100 per day. When it's done, it's done. So my blood pressure goes, but it's not crazy high, right? But having that discipline is huge, because a lot of traders don't have that discipline early on, unfortunately. But it's about building those habits early on. The more you can build those habits, I promise you, the better you'll become a trader. It just takes a while for those new, instill to kind of kick in.
We all have uphill battles. We just have to not create downhill habits, is what I try to say. They're all different too. I mean, mine is like on my 25K eval that I got funded, like you can tell on the chart, there were 3 or 4 times where I just, throughout the month, where I took a misstep and oversized something and took a bigger loss than I should have. But that minus 250 on the day for me is really been key. Like there are days I can pull 500, and so if the max drawdown's 250 and I can make 2x that, that's really been key for me with that 25, with the max account, at least the 25K.
Right.
Yeah. You don't want to lose like 4, 5, 6x what you normally make in a day. I mean, and then oversizing on the one trade for that to happen, you gotta avoid that. But James, put those guardrails up for what your downhill habit is. We gotta just recognize it, and that's what I love about the market. It humbles us to the point where we see our weaknesses, we see our strengths, and what we got to do is put those guardrails up to protect ourselves, because it's not just. I mean, we have to have an edge, then we got to have the risk management, to protect ourselves from ourselves ultimately. And then of course the consistency, which is going to compound it over time.
Yes, sir. Like going to the gym and lifting them weights. You don't see the muscles at first, but you go 10, 15, now you're in 30 days, now you're in 3 months, now you're in 9 months, now you're 2 years in. Like, man, wow. That's that rinse and repeat. This repetition really show, and then you see the results, But yeah, it's it. Big time, brother, for sure. So can't say enough for what you're talking about. It's the same stuff. And that's the thing that we talk about over and over and over, which we are. And then back to what Paul's up with the MACD and D Pro. Man, I'd love to get some more insight on that MACD. I love using them. I say love using it, but I do like some MACD. So cool that Michael's in cahoots with all those people. That's when he brought up Bollinger, I was like, dang, okay, he's talking to some people. And then we'll see the update on that. I can't, man. Speaking of, can't wait. It's 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tomorrow, brother. 2 weeks from tomorrow, we fly out.
We'll be partying.
I can't even. Crazy to think that's coming up. That
anybody in chat going to be there? Karaoke night, Orlando.
Smud's coming. I know Smud's coming. Smud, you're coming, right? Smud's going to be there. Smud's going to be in Orlando, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we got the 15th night. Yeah, that's going to be a blast, man.
Yeah,
it'll be a good time.
Gonna be fun. Good analogy, Josh, about the gym. Oh yes, exactly. Yeah, and I just thought about that at first. When I first started trading. Another thing I always think about analogy wise was the top person in that profession, or I say profession. We're professionals, right? Anyway, but the top person in that category of what you're talking about, what is the top earner? So like in NFL, right? What do they make? Even the average NFL trader or NFL player. Yeah, right. Average NFL
trader.
Yeah, right. Average NBA player. Average, then go to like surgeons and what they're making per state, right? So I would point being, you just go to those levels and that, because those are people you think of surgeons, you think of people in professional sports, you're going, wow, it probably took them a while to get there and they're really good at what they do. And then thus they make a lot of money. So I'm going to go to Warren Buffett, who's the top person in this profession, so to speak, right? Warren Buffett's of the world, right? Billionaires, essentially, that invest. A lot of millionaires. Well, if there's a lot of millionaires and there's some billionaires, this is probably going to take some time to get good at, for sure. I can't pick up a basketball if I've never picked up a basketball and think I'm going to be in the NBA in a year or two, or let alone 4 to 6. So what makes me think if I can pick up stock trading that I'm going to be really good in this in a year or two? If I'm going to be, it ain't going to happen, right?
It's because they make it look effortless. I went over this, and my book Among the 10%, how like I used to watch professional ski, and I got out there, dude, and I tried to do it, and I ended up at the bunny slope for like the rest of the day. I could hardly even get down the bunny slope, but you see the pros, and it looks so effortless, right?
Right.
That and you get it's gonna take a lot of time to make it look that way. But yeah, even in trading, dude, I mean, the best of the best at this, they make it look effortless. They make it look absolutely effortless,
Yeah.
but it's
I mean,
certainly far
like
from it.
you said that when you see the highlights, like Michael Jordan, like when you see him float in the air and like some of those, like whether he's blocking a ball or he's hanging up, and then finally he's about to get blocked, but he hangs just a little longer and then he just made it look so easy. And then you go out there like that old school commercial, the Gatorade commercial, like Mike, if I could be like Mike, and he's just out there like, woo, this is so pretty. I am a gymnast. And then you get out there and try to do the same thing, and you look like, you don't look anything. You look like Shaquille O'Neal or Charles Barkley, or you are not doing that. That's not your move. Oh man, yeah. AK Smud says, "AK, you can fix me later in the 101." You know it. Exactly, James. I'm 100%. Gotta believe in the theory. How does it work? Do you have to pay, or what's the story? Smud, what are you talking about? Smud, what are you talking for Orlando event? Yeah. So if you want Smud for the Orlando event, no karaoke or hanging out with us. We're not going to charge you to hang out with us. But yes, if you want to go to the money show, we do have a link. So yesterday, Trade the Pool actually emailed everybody out. So you should have got an email yesterday, and it actually has a landing link. So we do have a landing link now for. That's right.
Here, I'm coming to you.
Packing your bags. Pack your bags. Here, there we go. Yeah, come back over.
Pack your bag. Pack your Statue of Liberty. Get ready.
There you go. There we go. Look at it, and you just keep scrolling on down. There we go. Sign up if you want to. Where you'll find us at. That's right. Be a part of it. The team. Oh, look at the gorgeous team. We're gonna be there. Be a part of the tour. Sign me up. There you go. And you can just keep scrolling on through. Enjoy the ride. Sign up now. That's right. Enjoy the ride. So there's the landing link. You should have got an email yesterday. If you didn't, I will actually put this link over in YouTube for you guys as well. So yeah, can't wait. So that, yes, you do have to, if you want to go to the trade, the money show, you do have to pay for that. But as far as, and I don't know if that's hyperlinked or not, but yes, there you go. But for us hanging out with us, no, come hang out. That's what Kevin was asking. Come hang out. Are you going to hang out?
Oh yeah. Come hang out.
Tuna Signal AI. There we go. Okay. Tuna Signal AI. There we go. Maybe the CR Trader may be there. CR Trader, you're going to fly down. CR Trader's in Boston. So flying from Boston to Orlando. Okay. All right. Bring the getting excited. Yes. My waistline is a pro. Okay. There we go. All right. I love it. J. Angelo, you going to be there? You coming, Angelo? You coming, baby boy? You got to let, I can't wait though. Okay.
So IBG just broke over 5 as alerted in chat. This thing's, God, I mean, again, it's in the CBD sector. That's why it's getting some hype behind it. But this thing's it's going to have some struggles getting up here through 6 at least. I mean, we got a lot of 7 resistance overhead, and the fact that it just did this recently too, I imagine it's going to be a challenge here to get back up towards 6, because it was a week ago from today that this thing made this move up towards 7. So we'll see. I mean, it's approaching those levels. Surely there's going to be long stuck in this, creating a level of resistance. So we'll just monitor IBG against those levels as it's breaking up through 5. D Pro, that one ended up kind of slowing down, cracking its trend, and looking a little heavy right here on a short. We could look at it against 880 or even 9. Back up to 9 for me would likely be invalidated if it starts climbing up there. But IBG, D Pro are what's in play right now.
Large cap's getting some pullback here. Just going back to those SPY, Apple, my NVDA still hold 186 though, baby. Kicking to that in the 3-minute candlestick confirmation time frame there. So I'm still watching that in the 3 minutes, still confirming it, holding above it, getting some pullback there from large cap plays, Apple, SPY, getting some reversal here, back on down for you large cap traders. Still keeping an eye on that for you guys. We're just chopped up in this channel though, slowly but surely getting a little bit wider. You can see higher highs along the way, lower lows along the way. You don't really see a vortex type tornado. Usually it's a nice tight channel where it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter versus getting wider and wider and wider. But it is what it is. And yes, SPRC, that was one earlier today. IBG, yes, did run crazy to see that last Tuesday. Failed at 650 there, so we'll see if we can get back up in that area. But again, one of those, and I feel today is that we're already getting that across the board, Kevin, and I'm thinking it's going to be that way the rest of the day. I don't think any of these plays are going to pop. If we would have gotten one by now, in my opinion, we would have gotten a play to pop. I just don't see it happening today. I just don't see it in the cards, most likely. That's just my input. That's just
unlikely here.
By the way, Jay Angelo says, heck yeah, they're saying my Morton AC2000, my Morton antivirus is blocking me from access CTV website this week. That is weird. Well, let's get rid of Norton and go over to Edwards antivirus. That'd be funny if there was a Norton and Edward. So Edward Norton. They're two different companies. Oh man, y'all think? Okay, let's go to Hum. What's up, Jesus? How we doing, boss? Y'all think Hum has a chance to recover back to 300 levels? Let's go. Let's go to the 4 hour right here. I like that in the 4 hour.
Let's see, it's kind of under that 200.
Yeah, I would say no. At least not right now. I would not think so anytime soon. Depends on how long you're wanting to hold this, though, my friend. So, who was that? Jesus Rodriguez. Sorry, I just got to get a little of that roll in the tongue there. I love it. Reminds me of taking Spanish back in the day. I would say this probably like we are right now with a lot of trades with large capville. We are just consolidation zone, more so in a channel out to the right, range bound, as I always talk about. And I loved hearing Nas talk about that earlier. Like, hey, that's a term I use. Yay, okay, sweet. So I do have some normal terminology that expert traders use. I have things like sandwiches. I say sandwich. I've got some weird. I got a Thanos crossover. Like what is he talking about? But this is just range bound. Now, if we can get back above this 263 mark, you can see even all the way back through here to this area, boss. That's going to be key. 263, somewhere right around there, 263. Once we do that, then we can get back up and get some. And another big thing too, as you can notice, what's the volume doing? It's been dying off, So we really have been dying off the last few days. A lot of that becomes why you're in this range channel. And just what do we got? What do we move here?
C Trader got the halted down IBG.
Halted down.
Wow. Good play there. IBG halted down, got the short up over 5.
And then Jay Angelo helping out there for the Norton antivirus. Thank you, Jay Angelo. There you go, boss. Good job too on the CRWV on the short. Good job. Jesus thinking 6 to 9 months down the road. I know it's a bit of a far. Yeah, and then just hold it, right? So we'll just go back to that real quickly. And I would say, Jesus, if it starts, I don't know where you're in at. I don't think you mentioned that, but if you get back below this 248 mark. The only thing really to hold you up is going to be this 245 area, and then it could really start to get cracky, in my opinion. So you may want to cut at that point, not do a hold and hope strategy. Again, I don't know where you're in at, but yeah, definitely one of those things what I've noticed, especially when it comes to large caps and small caps too, kind of creating this bear flag, right? See this huge pull down, pull out to the right now with kind of a flat bottom. You don't want to crack for more because this is a short, kind of like it's a little different setup, but similar to what Path had earlier. That had more of a trend line up. This has more of a bottom to it. But again, a descending triangle, or I should say descending, but it's in a bear flag. So a lot of traders see bearishness and especially crack the bottom of it. That could get nasty. There you go. You got it, Jesus. Just my thoughts on it. Oh, James, is that our man, Mr. Renaissance? Renaissance over there. Is that
Mr. Yeah. Mr. James. Yeah. We've done interviews with him. James has been on the live. James doing fine today. I got the queue on the funded. Just chilling on ENTA. That one's been fading all day, so I've just been kicking back with that. Outside of that, I'm thinking about D Pro, Josh, just because like even that IBG just got slammed. So D Pro, I'm like, we have.
Back up top.
I just don't know if we're going to get there today. I'm thinking about throwing a feeler on it, against the top, and maybe size it dynamically.
Because it could go to 950, kind of like almost what IBG's doing. It kind of makes a new high of day, but then it really can't. It's so much resistance, gets top heavy, and just gets slammed back on down.
Right. So that's what I'm looking at there. We had that volume increase up to 930s. It's like the small cap land's just heavy. It's heavy today. You got to trade what is, not what you'd like to see.
I feel like it's Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving. Everyone just I just know more like Thanksgiving Day. It's like 7 o'clock at night, and you're just like, oh, I'm so full.
Right.
I can't go anywhere. Yeah.
Followed by a nap. Yeah.
Followed by exactly. 100%.
Man, Thanksgiving's a good time here in the South. There's
Yes.
so much, man.
Love it.
That sweet
Absolutely love
potato casserole,
it.
that ham.
Oh, oh man, that honey ham. Oh
There's
God.
nothing like it. Fresh
Oh,
out of the oven.
and of course, down south, you got to have a little deep fried turkey with it too. So
We're throwing this in there for free, guys.
yeah, hey,
All this information right here.
everyone on the East Coast is getting hungry for sure right now. Actually, for sure, even on the West Coast because they've been
That
up.
gravy.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, that mashed potato and gravy, boy.
I'll throw gravy on a little bit of everything that day. I'm just like, sure, gravy on you, whatever. You're all going down together. I make some homemade. My dad used to make the dumplings, and I took over about 3 years ago because he stopped making them a few years back. I was like, man, he makes chicken and dumplings, homemade dumplings. But dough's hard. You got to roll it out, yada yada yada. I picked it up about 2 or 3 years ago now, and oh God, chicken and dumplings, bro. Oh yeah, so it's yeah. Hey, it's the fixins. You got to have a little bit of this. I mean, your plate is just. I mean, I swear my plate's got to weigh at least 2-3 pounds. You got to double plate it. 2 plates. James says, "What's the thoughts on the PDT? Yeah, that's been. I think we talked about that maybe last week for sure. But yeah, that's been to me. I swear since I started, people have asked me about that. What these thoughts on it, or people have complained about it, or what have you. It is what it is. I think it's something that's to me, as I talked about, something that's been needed to be approached and fixed. Whether it's they lower the amount or they give you more trades, per 25K, so you get like 10 trades, you get 5 trades. I mean, 3 is just." I get what they're doing, and it really did help me out to become the disciplined trader I was or am now, doing that, going through that. But the one thing I'm worried about is how's the market going to react? I don't think we're going to get newer traders. I just think we may get a little influx of a little bit, but I think it's going to be the volume from the traders that you guys, but a lot of traders that go to TTP, which I love, and hopefully we'll continue to do that. But it's the people that have a $3,000, a $5,000, a $10,000 account. Now they can trade more, and I get that. Now they can actually get some more practice in. But still, early on, like we've talked about, the theme. It seems like a little bit of the show today would be, as we always talk about, if you don't have a little bit of experience, you can next thing you know, you're trying to throw too many patterns and strategies up against the board, and you blow your account. Time in, time out, or like Money Mitch said, he sells his badass, amazing Saline Mustang, but that led him to his first account. But what did he do? He blew it, right? But luckily it was early on. And so that's what happened. So I could see a lot of accounts blown. I think we talked about it last week, me and Kevin, saying there are going to be a lot, and I mean a lot of accounts blown. So you still need to utilize TDP. You need to utilize anything like, I love TOS because it has paper trading. You've got to utilize that kind of stuff. You can't just go out there and go, I can trade now. Here we go. Well, go ahead and think that, again, if you can go in the major leagues and you can hit home runs or even base hits or even bunt against the pitchers in the pros, let alone AAA, single A, whatever, even in college, you are not going to pick up a baseball bat and hit on any SEC pitcher. I promise you that. So if you think you can, go on and swing away, but I wouldn't swing away. I'd say, hey, can I get like the T-ball first thing? Can I start with that?
I mean, I've had so many obviously I've helped, one-on-ones with people for years, but outside of people who are actually interested in trading, Josh, you just get like friends or friends of friends or whoever that's just saying, hey, I just want to, I want to make a little living trading. You think, I just open up a few $1,000 account, and those are the ones that are all gonna, they're gonna blow it. I mean, I tell them, please do not. I mean, I'm honest with them. You're gonna blow it. You're gonna lose that money. You're competing against not only yourself, you're competing against the market, other traders. It's going to be the people who are very successful at trading are those who love trading and they take good trades. Money's a byproduct, of trading well.
Yeah.
It's not those who are, if you're trading, trying to get rich quick, it's the opposite effect.
Yep, 100%. When you have money involved, or going back to Michael Noss the last hour, where I love that, where we definitely seem to be on the same page the way we trade and our similarities.
Yeah.
But I don't look at my P&L. I think that, and I know it does. Not only myself, going back to that, if you want to keep, with your Apple Watch and keep your heart, like when I looked at that back in the day, oh God, it was like when I short the top. I'm like, get rid of that. You are affecting your trade. There's no point, does you no good to look at that at all. I love it. And so, like I've said, Michael agreed. It's like a Christmas present. You never know what you're going to get till the end of the day. Like a Christmas. At least when you're a kid, you didn't know for sure what you were going to get a lot of the time, especially from your like uncles and grandparents, right? You're like, boy, what am I getting this year? Could be something I'm going to love, or it could be something I'm just not going to care about at all, or it could be a little something that's not bad, you know?
Here's $20, kid.
Yeah,
I didn't forget about your Christmas.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like you've opened up all your presents, and he comes over and he's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't get the little kid anything. Hey, what do I got in my wallet? Hey, here's $20 for you. Go get you what you want." And then he tries to make it sound like my uncle. I had that one uncle that would be like, he then would go, "Oh, I'm going to make it sound like that was my plan from the get go," and be like, "I'm not like your other uncles and getting you that dumb stuff. You know, go buy what you want with your own money." And be like, "Yeah, you didn't even have a present for me when you showed up today. Shut up, Uncle Joey." You know, whatever. I had an Uncle Joey. I love Uncle Joey. God rest his soul. Unfortunately, he's passed, but he was that uncle. You know, he had a good heart. Very much so, very good heart, but just, didn't use his head too much. It's kind of like, no offense, going back, I love the Griswolds and I love vacation movies. He was a lot like Cousin Eddie, bigger heart than brain, unfortunately.
Oh man, DLXY, the halt down. What in the world just happened here? DLXY.
Huh. Oh wow, yeah. Then that was whoa.
That's not
offering. No, I pulled that up. That's from July the 10th. It had an offering. So closes $8 million offering. You'd think that was from the day, but that's actually back on July 10th. So that is something here. Let's go back over here. I'll show you. Here we got DLXY. Good call there. Yeah, back on July 10th. I'm not seeing anything from today right now at all on DLXY. Wowzers. And yeah, this is popcorn right here. You're not trading much today. And then back to that, even like I said, I know my time to trade. I know, kind of like you said, Kevin, yesterday, with your, maybe trading a little bit too long. My time to trade, I'm done by now. I'm still in my NVDA trade, looking like this 3-minute candle is going to confirm. So I'll close out of it, but I'm done. Like Michael and Mitch, you leave, you go take care of the pack. I do one-on-ones or whatever it is I'm doing. I'm not even looking at charts. I'm not looking at whatever. If I'm in a trade of P&L like Amazon long-term, I'm not looking at anything chart-wise. My day's over. My day's done. I got to clock out. I clocked out. I stamped out. I'm done. I'm heading home now. Now I can relax. My day's over, right? And that's how it needs to be for most traders. Find where your edge is, like we always talk about that edge, and then stick to that time frame over and over and over and over and over and over and over. But yeah, definitely. And then big marks. Yeah. What were you going to say there?
Well, just over like you're over and over. I'm just saying repetition. The edge is made in the money's made through the repetition. That's where the edge performs. That's where the house makes their money. The house makes the money through repetition of the hands of blackjack and.
Yep. But yeah, exactly. Big mark though. Back to TTP. Got to utilize TTP. I love trade the pool. I'm always with everyone when those prop firms were, get over to futures. I don't want to do futures. So let me know if there's one I can actually short small caps. And then finally there was, oh my gosh, like the heavens open up and I want to make sound effects like Mitch does. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, whatever the sound effects would be is the heaven. The gates have opened up. And I'm like, what? And so, yeah, for traders early on, I think I talked about this last Thursday when we were talking about biggest loss ever, where I had a guy I used to do one-on-ones with. One of the first guys I was doing one-on-ones with back in 2021 had a 22-win streak in a row, 22 wins in a row. And we did a one-on-one one afternoon, and here he went by Jam. I have NBA Jam here, so I always called him NBA Jam. We got Michael Jordan up here. He's 22 wins in a row, right? So I'm thinking basketball, Michael Jordan, his number's 23. All right, NBA Jam, let's get that win tomorrow. All right, down, set, hut, let's go, right? Break, let's go. Then he, messaged me the next day and says, hey, man, I did it. I'm like, oh, that's all I hear at first. I'm like, yeah, Michael Jordan number, you got it. Send him like some gif, of Michael Jordan dunking it. He's like, no, that had to be so disheartening getting that text, like, no, I didn't actually save the basketball. He fumbled the basketball. He got stolen from him. And those 22 wins he had in a row, which is a heck of a great streak for any trader ever of all time. Ever any trader, 22 wins in a row is crazy good. That 23rd trade he took, which could be 23 wins in a row, was obviously it was an L. You can tell where I'm heading. It was an L, but wiped out all 22 wins. And then was so disheartening, you could tell, I never saw the guy again. I'd hit him up, but that's what happens when you do it with your own money. When you do it with your own money and you take that big hit and maybe wipes your account or wipes a lot of it out or all those wins you had, now you're back to red again, and maybe you've done it for months or maybe more than months, a year plus on in, it starts getting real negative, not only in your heart, but right here. And then you can't trade anymore. So then there goes your trading journey. There's what then could have been something maybe successful, but you try to push, and then had one big bad trade with your own account, blew it up, and now you're mentally just, like I always say, you got to be mentally stable. Now you're not. You're just not going to be mentally stable to do this ever again. You've been ruined, so to speak. You need another brain at that point.
I need a brain replacement.
Yeah, right. I want to trade stocks. I need a brain replacement, Doc. Oh man,
Too funny.
that's good though, James. Good. It seems at 3:30 in the afternoon. Good trade. Then that's it. Get that 20. Like find your edge. Boom. Then out. Don't stick around, right? And just probably that you don't. And that's good. You don't want to be like, well, okay, here's my time, but I'm not getting one. Okay, well you had your time. Now that 20, 30 minutes is up. Out of the office, right? Get up, go take a walk, go sit on the couch, give your brain a rest. Of course, there's many things we have to do in the world now, right? Get to doing whatever you need to do at that point. Find your edge, get in there, do it, get out. It's kind of that's it being a stock sniper for me. I climb into my stand every morning at the same time, and then I climb out of it at the same time. I don't know what my P&L is. Every day it's going to be a little different. That's why I never wanted to have I've got to make 3% today, 5% today, or daily goal. I always was, if anything, would be a monthly goal for me, because early on I realized that too. For a lot of traders that had that daily goal, I didn't really at first, but I could tell it was really ruining traders early on if they had a daily goal. It'd be one thing if you did this 10, 15 years, you almost could have a repetition, especially if you traded large cap plays, and those sophisticated traders. Yeah, I average 3.7% every day, right? Whatever it is. You're not even close to that early on in your first 5 years of the journey. So there's no point, in my opinion, to have a daily goal. Just wanted to touch on that, just because I know a lot of traders do have that daily goal. They got
I have a number I normally hit, but I'm not pushing towards it. There's a difference in that. It's like,
yes,
I'm not just taking random trades to try to get there.
Yeah. I got to get this extra $42.
Right.
But some do. It is weird. You'll see it, and I feel bad for them. And I'm like, God, I can't imagine having that mental state of mind, because then I'm like, are you like this in the rest of your life? Oh, your poor significant other. Oh gosh, that she's got to be if it's a guy, whoever. Or your poor dogs. You're asking too much of them.
Just take what you can get.
Yep.
Smoked tuna, BENF. Little penny play, testing some pre-market resistance at 70.
I think it's a top gain on the day, if I'm not mistaken.
It likely could be. I mean, she's up about 100% from the previous close. So
right, yeah.
36 up towards 70. Yeah. Climbing up through new highs. These pennies are very interesting. They're very interesting for multiple reasons. Like a lot of the rooms aren't trading these because they don't get the leverage with you'll have some gurus out there that maybe they're trading they would need the leverage. They're trading small accounts that maybe they need a 6-to-1 leverage, but you're not going to get it under like $2-5. Most of those brokers and offshores don't give it, under those levels. So these usually don't. That's why you don't get massive pumps on these names often. But you can, sometimes you do, just because there are shorts that get way overly sized on these. Overly, like you're talking like 10, 20, 30, 40,000 shares, on B and F, which may be normal size for some, but these people are swinging heavy. So if you look at the volume B and F, we're millions of shares a minute, millions of shares. So people swing big on those names.
Talk about swinging, yeah. So then they do, yeah, 100%. 100%. Speaking of 100%, yeah, it's up 90% on the day. But that's where we're at now. I think we had that way the rest of this week again. Not final thoughts yet, but still, just already talked about that earlier. But just bring that up again. I feel the rest of this weekend and next week it's going to be very similar to what we're seeing today for small caps. So top gainers 50 to 100% somewhere in there, and then we're kind of working with so to speak leftovers. At that point too as well. So that's what you'd be looking for the rest of this week and next week, in my opinion. 100%. Yeah, smoke tuna. Good job there with Ben F. Slow and steady. Ben F, baby. Benjamin Franklin. That's how.
Yes, stack STAK, another one in the penny land. That one's been curling around at high day on the day today, $1.13. So we'll see what that one does too. Slow, steady grinder. Outside of that, let us know what you guys are looking at. NVDA ended up popping a little bit. I mean, it cracked under that 186, but popped a little bit off of 185.60. D-Pro's just kind of steadily hanging in there. Again, 920s, ideally not where I'd like to see that one. Just see that one just similar to the other plays. Again, the market sentiment here, a size small there, but D-Pro would like to see that one stay heavy against the highs after that initial crack. We'll see if she Gets that stair step action back up, in which case I'd take it off.
I'm honestly just surprised the SPY has just stayed right here. I don't know if that has to do, with Trump and earlier, and then kind of like Michael was talking about with the big, it's a big week, so we have a lot of reports coming out, every day. Well, every day, but tomorrow with Wednesday another round, and then Friday another round. So today tight with the SPY. NVDA is still looking good. I think NVDA too, as far as movement, the rest of this week going to be pretty nice. So I'll be looking at NVDA 100% the rest of this week after we moved to all-time high territory. And it was kind of funny earlier, Kevin, when I brought it up, and then you saw it too, it was right when we got on it, it was hitting through that. We were right through 185. So we were on it right when we got that breakout there. So that was a nice, good little move, at least since we've been going, this stream for the last hour or two. It's not like we've had a lot of good movement compared to weeks past, but that was a pretty good move right there. And the reversals up top, you got D Pro, if you got IBG, some small moves, nothing too bad there. NFE.
Yeah, IBG was a beauty. Good job there, CR Trader. I think you said you wish you left a little, some leftovers on it to kick back with. Yeah, after the halt downs like that, an edge I like to trade, Josh. If I don't catch the halt down, this one didn't really give an entry, but like a pop, like we halt down and then we pop, we get a quick pop back up. Right. After the halt again at TTP, you got to wait a minute, but wait that minute for that halt roll, but catch it right on a pop as shorts are covering, because a lot of shorts after those halt downs, they'll start covering, and then but you have all the longs that are trapped in it up there at the top. It's an edge I like to trade as they pop back up there to short into it against those.
Yeah, kind of like the opposite side when you're getting a long side halting up. You look for a quick profit taking. You could look for a short right as it goes live, but a bounce play. I call it the halt strategy, but essentially, like Mitch just said, and I've noticed that halt area becomes a bounce play. So if you get a good size gap up, then boom, you'll get a quick sell off from all those people taking profit from being in the halt up going long. And then because I've missed the play, right? So then I'm getting in on that halt price as we kind of reject back into it and then take a retest of it, and then we fly back up.
Very interesting. So that's your halt strategy. Yeah, I see that all the time. That happen, especially after we could dive deep there, but it's like the first halt. The first halt, that's when you're looking for that, right? Because probably like second, third, fourth, it starts getting a little sketch doing that. But as far as your strategy goes, is that usually the first halt? Yeah,
if you can catch it, the first halt's great. And then of course you have some brokerages have the level 2 where they have the LULD where it shows you where it's going to open up at, and it's pretty close to it. So if you see a gap up coming, then like in 2020, it was crazy how many spikes we saw. So that's where I came up with the halt strategy, because I kept seeing it work over and over and over, to where I trusted it so much in 2020 into 2021. And when I would see the gap up coming, I would surround, or I would put limit orders in, like trust it as a true bounce play, and like know that it's going to open up and just shoot right down like a lightning bolt, and I'll get filled. That's how much I trusted that strategy, that you could literally just put orders in. Yeah. So, and then it got so hot. And of course, we know in 22 or 2021 into 2020 into 2021, that, 2-year stretch was so hot. You could do the second halt up. So yeah, even the second halt up would then provide. And then at times, of course, then it would get really risky after that. Hey guys. No, my dogs are barking.
Good trade there, Angelo. I mean, it was a key level. The reason we got that halt down is because not only shorts were looking at, the half, that $5 area, but additionally, you have longs looking to profit take. So the combination of shorts jumping in, longs looking to take profit, creates that halt that we saw, just an immense amount of selling pressure. So that in creating that halt down. So IBG likely, it stays heavy. That's what we've seen out of that halt down. It's been heavy, real heavy. As longs are stuck up there for a fade on down. IBG still green on the day. It opened up. It looks like right around 4. So we'll see if that one can hold up or not.
Yeah, like I said, I don't. Back to that's funny, because the last one was that it was IBG is in that high of day area, and yet another one where I was like, I just don't see a play. I just don't see it. It would have happened already, in my opinion. It hasn't happened. I would continue to look for rejection and fails the rest of the day for small caps. I do, and like we just had one on NFE that James brought up. I think it was James that brought NFE, another rejection at high of day. I don't think we're going to get a runner today. I don't think we'll have one this week. We may get one into the end of next week. I'll call it now, though. We'll see if I'm still right, come Thursday when we do this again. Where are we at? And I think we're going to be right here, and maybe even a little bit slower is my point, heading into Friday. So we got a theme for the call-in show, by the way, on Thursday. Now that that's hot and rocking and rolling, I think we got that down too. We got a theme for this Thursday. We know yet? We need to hit up Michael, and see what he says.
I think we could poll the audience too to see
Yeah.
what kind of theme they want.
We can do that. Yeah.
It's open. Yeah. Let me
Sounds
see.
good, my man. Sounds good. Because I wanna get that ahead of time to think about that. And then another thing that me and Kevin are doing is a little small cap mini series.
Yeah. D Pro rejected 9 hard. We may see a halt down if it keeps seeing selling pressure. So just monitoring that. But yeah, I'm very excited to. We're on episode 4 today, guys. We break down. I mean, this is everything. This is exactly what I would have wanted, Josh, when I started. Is what we're coming out with, the small cap series. I mean, we're breaking it down. It's going to be like 8 or 9 episodes. We're on episode 4 today, and we're just systematically breaking down everything we're looking for. The trades we're looking for, what we're not looking for, the risk side of things, the profit side, all of it. Pretty much the ABCs, right? The ABCs of all of it. We're breaking it all down. So they're broken up into like 25-minute segments each episode. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be like you guys are gonna have to get the popcorn out, have a movie night with the small cap series.
Yeah. Kind of like binge watch it. Go from episode 1.
Yeah.
Like a Netflix series, baby. Yeah. And that's how we're doing that. Really too. It's like chronological. You're going from A to Z. You know, we're not starting you off with, all right, well, here's this kind of strategy, and then I'm like, no. We're gonna start you from like, kindergarten, take you to 3rd grade, and you get you up to 6th grade. We're gonna take you all the way up to high school.
Yeah.
But it's perfect. And James, we're doing them now. So we haven't Trade the Pool hasn't released them yet. And I think we'll get that probably, sometime in the next month or two. I think and I don't know how they're going to do it. Do you know yet, James, if they're going to release them all at once? Or are they going to do it week by week? Do you know what they're going to do?
I believe they're going to release it on YouTube once we've come out with all the episodes. They're gonna, and I don't know if it's going to be like a weekly release or not, but they may dump them all out there. But we'll let you know. It's going to be on the Trade the Pulse channel, so you guys just be looking out for that.
Speaking of Trade the Pool channel, we got our first post yesterday. Me and Kevin did. I was so happy to see this since I'm on my other YouTube account.
I was cracking up when I saw it.
Yeah, I'll put the link out there for traders in chat right now. So there's the link to that. Go watch that. So if you want to watch this, good paralysis by analysis, lost trades. It's a quick little short. It's only about 40, 50 seconds. But this is our first little post together. We got a lot more, I'm sure, on the incoming for you guys. But yes, we will. That little mini series for the small caps will be coming here in the next month.
Yep. James, going to be great. I appreciate that feedback. Yeah, we're very excited for it. If I had to start over, that's how we're tailoring it. I mean, if Josh and I had to start over from day one, what would we need to hear?
Right.
That's how we're gearing it, and I think it's excellent. We're going to be filming the next episode 4 here in about 30 minutes after we wrap this up, and go from there. But guys, anything else you're watching before we get on off of here? D Pro, looking at that one to stay heavy against the 920 level. It did just reject 9 fairly hard, so looking for a little fade there. Let's see, small cap land IBG heavy.
Only one popping's Ben F that I see. Ben F's the only one that I see popping is BNF. Ben F's the only one I see popping. Benjamin Franklin, baby. Making them Franklins on Benjamin. Yep. That's about the only thing above the view up that looks like it's got any kind of life as of right now. At least decent movement. I think the other play was NFE, which was James' play for a little bit of movement.
So if you look at the daily, I mean, it's breaching certain levels of resistance at that 60 cents where you see a lot of the upper wicks. Getting up over that level. So, I mean, clearly I got 80 and $1, of course. $1 is going to be very strong there.
Yeah.
If that
$1. Especially these plays like you talked about that haven't been at $1 in such a long time, and they're trying to, get back to $1. So
yeah, that $1. Yeah, for those that aren't aware, you got a bid price rule. You got to stay above $1. I don't know how this ticker's not been delisted. How long has it been? It's like 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, they might have gotten an extension from NASDAQ.
Yeah, and I've seen that where they get extensions too. They had to have, because that's been way over 6 months.
Been near a year since they've been over $1. So, yeah, that creates a very tough level of resistance.
100%.
But yeah, traders, appreciate you guys. This was a good day today. Hopefully everybody's good and green on the day. Josh and I are just kicking back with the day and letting the trades come to us. If we don't get like the action, Josh, that we want, I mean, certainly I would like more volatility. As day traders, we're hunters of volatility and we're managers of risk. I would like some more volatility in small cap land. There was good opportunity there with some of those plays that chat got, you guys got as well with in the larger
Shorty.
caps.
Yep.
But it is what it is. We take what we get. We trade what is, not what we want to see. But Mr. Josh, you want to wrap up the day?
Yeah, man, good. Like I said, it's going to be slower. Just expect that. Take your base hits right now. We still see that shorting at top and reversal still working, not getting quite the euphoric moves that James loves. James, I'm now calling you James. Kevin, I think it's because Kevin James. I'm going to get you guys messed up. The damn actor Kevin James is going to have me messed up here. But Kevin, like, you're not getting those moves, but you're still getting great reversals at top,
Yeah.
whether it's going to be Ben F here. You got D Pro, of course, already took IBG and put it over here now because I'm looking at so many darn tickers. And then the large cap plays as well. With Trump talking earlier, you got some sideways chop from the SPY. Got a couple of decent moves from UNH. Earlier from Pfizer was a good mover. NVDA for me, it was my little baby for the day. Still loving some NVDA here and will for the rest of this week. So until you guys see me again on Thursday with Kevin again, don't forget, get ready for that mini part small cap series coming up. Small caps, make sure you're taking base hits. Shorting the top is where it's at. Not a lot of other big movement coming. I'm sure 30, 40, 50, 60% movers is going to be the norm over the next couple of weeks, with maybe an 80 to 100% mover here and there. And then in large cap plays, we're range bound, in my opinion. SPY, a lot of these other plays, besides NVDA, because thank gosh now we're at all time highs, but a lot of the other large cap plays are range bound. So just take your base hits the rest of this week.
Yeah, base hits. They add up. I mean, those are my bigger days, Josh. It's like I'm never really swinging for a huge green trade.
Right.
But if, the accumulation of just base hits makes for a great day. Just base hit after base hit. So,
E-Pal,
yeah, guys.
Hold on real quick. James said
Yep.
E-Pal. I don't want to feel like we're E-Pal. James, I wouldn't trade it. One of those things where I see this and we're an hour two, now 2.5 hours in. Not a lot of good movement chart there. I honestly just would. That's one of those things when I see that to a trader and they look at it, I immediately sometimes just shut it down. I don't want to try to give you levels or, hey, go trade here. To me, if anything, you're going to short at the VWAP in 150, 155. Again, profitability zone. Are you going to get your 10 cents on trade the pool, right? I always talk about that. Kevin says expected value. I say profitability zone. That's what are you going to get that here? In this setup, I say most likely not.
And additionally, for the small cap series, I'm going to be going over this setup. This was my bread and butter today, guys. I go over it a lot. The hangover, it's given already 2.5 points today. So even when things are slow, you have these faders like this that are overbought the prior days and they fade beautifully. And maybe I can get talk to the team about coming out with some watch lists with some of these plays, so make sure everybody's prepared, for the morning of to take advantage of some of these plays. But outside of that, guys, D Pro, I'm kicking back. I really don't want it back over 9 now that we got rejected off of that high. So may take it off, just break even on that trade as she's stair stepping back around. But outside of that, embrace the risk, traders. Accept the results. And we will see you guys, Josh and I at least, we'll see you guys Thursday. So take care, guys. Appreciate you.
Have a great day, team. Thank you.